You wake up every day in America already in debt. Before your eyes even open, you owe on your house, you owe on your car, you owe on your education, you owe for your health. Your whole life is chained to subscription services, debt slavery, wage slavery, subscription slavery. You know, your whole existence is leased. It's on loan from the moment you're born. From the moment you're born, you are plugged into a system that feeds on you financially, psychologically, spiritually, and you're told that all of that is freedom. You're told it's the best thing that ever happened to humanity. It's the best system there is. And you should be grateful. You should be proud. Tell me that isn't cult-like. You live in a bubble of euphemisms. You work like a slave. You sell your time, which is what your life is, by the way. It's time. Your presence in this world is nothing but time. And actually, you don't even sell it, because selling it would imply that you have a choice, but you don't have a choice to sell your time. Do you understand? You have to. That's what I mean. You're literally born in debt. Because from the moment that you enter the world, if you live in the West, if you live in America, you have to start justifying your existence within the prevailing profit model. You know, whatever intrinsic value that you have as a human being, whatever purpose you might have in this life, is subordinated by necessity to a job that you don't care about for people who you don't even know, in a company that would replace you tomorrow with a machine, with AI, with a robot, if they could. Your dignity is tied to your productivity. And if you don't produce, you don't deserve to eat. If you don't produce, you don't deserve shelter. You don't deserve peace. You're only worth whatever you can generate monetarily for someone else. So you cope. You consume, you scroll, you eat, you buy things that you don't need on credit to reward yourself with the cold comfort of frivolous goods. You know, reward yourself for all the hard work that you're doing, only to keep the cycle going. You bury yourself in entertainment that makes you feel a little bit less numb for just a few hours. Imagine, the only way that you can feel anything similar to being alive is to watch fiction. But you think that's normal because that's what everyone in the cult does. You live alone with little to no human interaction, no human connection. You walk through crowds like a ghost. Your family, most likely, is scattered, is broken, is estranged, again, just like a cult. You know, these are fundamental things that cults do. They break all your relationships. They alienate you from your family. You know, even your friends, most likely, are just avatars on the screen, curated versions of people pretending to not be as miserable as you are. You know, with their Instagrammable perfect lives that no one's actually living. No one lives like that.
Yo. Everybody keeps asking, where you trying to escape to? Wrong question. I never wanted to escape the country, but I feel I have to eventually. I wanted to escape the program, fear, the ego, the illusion, the heart of prison. Ain't made us feel, it's built inside the mind. Escape. Y'all thought I meant the border. Now, I need to escape the order, escape the mindset, escape the minds I continue to reject that told me we above the rest. Question that belief, now somehow I'm the threat. Hold up, they said we're number one. I said compared to who? You know it's the rulers that won the room, got quiet. Now they're uncomfortable too. I need to escape the echo chamber. Escape the data script, escape the flag waving, my life's in danger. Escape the rage, escape the anger, escape the road rage and these strangers. Escape the hate, escape this mentally deranged nation. I don't got a propaganda, no matter where it's from. If the truth don't match the headline, I'm questioning everyone. Exceptional by default, nah, prove the claim. Yeah, right, the matrix is my name. Truth is my game. Truth can stand the fire, survive the flame. Knowledge is my passport. Questions pave the lane. Every answer that I found made me question things again. I didn't lead a nation. I left a state of brain. The greatest prison wasn't fences. It was thinking you know everything before you search to see. I'm reading both sides, looking between the lines, telling them to search with your own eyes. Freedom ain't repeating. Don't act surprised. Making your own choice, having your own voice. Thought I stayed quiet. Now I'm cutting through the norm. I need to escape this border. I gotta escape the fear, escape the hate,
Escape the anger,
before it's too late.
escape the lies,
Escape the pride,
escape
gate became. It's locked inside. You can leave this place, but you'll never find real freedom till you free your mind. Let me paint the picture. Escape the politicians, escape the division, escape the television and the algorithm, escape the repetition. Hold up, let me hold my position. They said pick a side, I said now I'm picking truth. They said choose red or blue, I said I'm looking for the proof. Everybody screaming how weird are you? Do you Lisa back the blue? This is what they ask after I break down the math. The hidden agenda, hidden past, hidden sass, brains be written with math, but nobody listening. Everybody talking, everybody dissing, nobody questioning. Escape the left, escape the right, escape the lies, escape the fight. They keep us all divided while they united that stop. You busy fighting neighbors. Shout out to my greatest haters, the real game never stop. See, I escape the party lines, escape the daily spit, escape the constant outrage that keeps recycling again. They profit from confusion, they profit from the rage, the illusions they made. Profit from the laws written on every page, every time another chapter. More laws to go after, more codes to enslaved, but knowledge breaks the chains. Curiosity unlocked the door. The more I questioned everything, the more I started wanting more. Now they call me dangerous, cause I refuse to script. I don't follow crowds, I let the evidence lead the script. Escape, that's the mission, that's the vision. The hardest prison ain't the walls, it's mental submission. It's the last escape. Escape the confidence, escape the ignorance, escape the arrogance, disguise the confidence, escape the embarrassment without the evidence, escape the narrative that says we never fall, we already fell. People think we never fall, and you think you above it all, like somehow you're entitled and you own it all. It was built to fail. Only 250 years and the ship sailed. Corporate control to sail, secret societies. Exam, I lift the veil, hit the scales, pull out the fairy tales. Americanism, yes, they told us reception. Started asking why. If truth don't fear question, why they terrified and try. Escape the superiority, escape the vanity, escape the fantasy. We're the world's humanity. Look around, every nation got a story, every people got a struggle, every culture got some glory. Who am I to look down on another woman's son? Who am I to claim I'm great just because of where I'm from? Hold up. Politics became religion, parties became tribes, names turned to enemies, while division stayed alive. While we sell another outrage and tell us pick a side, while the people keep on drowning, and the truth gets pushed aside. I'm escaping all of that. I'm done carrying the load. Knowledge made me humble, not a king upon a throne. The greatest escape was never running away. It was even a mentality. Kept me mentally enslaved, escaping the American mind state. That's willingly enslaved.
And no, I'm not just talking about the MAGA types. No, it's not just the MAGA types. The liberals, the Democrats, they're no different from the rest of them. Believe me, they're no different from the rest of them. That's the truth. I know you think they're different. They're not different. Trump is just Joe Biden without the Instagram filter. Red and blue are just two different coats of paint on a single white foundation. Republican and Democrat are just different moods. They're just different personalities of the same power structure, the same myth maintenance system. The myth maintenance system that will employ the most brutal methods without any hesitation whatsoever. Doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or a Republican. So yes, I'm telling you, you're Democrats, you're Republicans, they're both defense attorneys. You understand me? They're both defense attorneys for the worst serial killer, mass murder, war criminal, satanic monster in history, Uncle Sam. Yes. Trying to argue for leniency. Trying to cut a plea deal. Trying to tell the judge that he can be rehabilitated. You understand me? Trying to say that he should just be sentenced to community service. Give him another chance. Let him off the hook. That's what those parties are. That's what your two political parties are, the Democrats, the Republicans. That's Uncle Sam's legal team. That's Uncle Sam's PR team, trying to bring you on side, trying to bring his own victims on side, trying to manipulate you and trying to trick you and fool you into resuscitating him when he's on his last breath. Give Uncle Sam mouth to mouth while your ancestors' blood is dripping from his dogs. On your ancestors' blood, do you understand? America is choking on the blood of your ancestors. It's choking on the blood of Africa. It's choking on the blood of Central and South America. America is choking on the blood of Vietnam. They're choking on the blood They're choking on the blood of Afghanistan. America is choking on the blood of Gaza. America is choking on the blood of its victims. You understand? Resuscitated because what? You think that America is going to be grateful if you revive him? If you revive Uncle Sam, he's going to be grateful. Now he's going to give you Medicaid. Now he's going to give you education. He's going to protect you. I'm telling you, your oppressor is dying, and you want to give him PR, imagining that he wants if you can revive him. The crumbling of American power, the system devouring itself, imploding upon itself, the system, the state evaporating. That's all in your favor. So please don't talk to me about voting. Don't talk to me about voting. Don't talk to me about Democrats. Don't talk to me about Republicans. Don't talk to me about what the government is going to do for you, what they're going to give you, and so forth. Don't talk to me about participating in representative democratic processes and so forth. You don't have to talk like that anymore. No. No one needs to keep up that charade anymore. Alhamdulillah, that period of humiliation is over. Because the system that stopped you in the past is now itself being swept away by the consequences of that past. You understand me? We're moving into an era in which the descendants of the people who were brought in chains to that land are going to become the inheritors of that land.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. What's good, Will? Fake Mike. What's good, Fake Mike? Good to see you. Bottom of the ninth. Cuts. What's good? G. Real. What's good? I thought I seen somebody else in here. No. Oh, right there. I can't see that right there. Paul Frame, what's good? And anybody else up who's up on here? Shout out to you guys. R.I.P. to Fake Mike. Word. Will Turbot is in the house. R.I.P. to Fake Mike. Okay. What's good? Jan Thompson. What's good? Hope everybody's doing good. It's been a minute. Been a long minute. Yeah, man. You know, I've been to hell and back, to heaven and back, and all that shit. So, still me. I'm still going through the same things. You know, I'm still doing what I do. You know, I'm just not in the echo chamber doing it. So, shout out to you guys. You know, everything's still everything. And you know, I don't really be on the neck of the woods on YouTube anymore. You know, I do check out some of my channels. You know, I still check out the auditing channels. I check out some of the channels keep me in the loop. You know, the Here's the Deals, the High Impact Flicks keep me in the loop with the little cop videos and the political crap show. That's being my feed. I always go check on my other, True Stream Media. I still check out as I'm scrolling. Cuts comes across sometimes. Comes across sometimes. Although I don't got a lot of time to watch everybody, but I always go check on my brother Wise to see if he tuned in and made some videos. And you know, he's been off for a long minute too. You know, so shout out to my brothers. And Fake Mike, I always check in on Fake Mike. You know, it is we just get on the phone. So, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't even begin to tell you what's going on in the world because I be tuned out. Really, like I don't know the latest greatest conspiracy theory. By a long shot. You know, I actually was so tuned out that I got caught in the smoke up northeast, you know. So I was 2 days behind in the smoke, and then when I dipped, I went, it cleared up, and it was all through the Pennsylvania, Virginia, all the way. It stopped right around North Carolina. That's how out of the loop I've been. Fuck your propaganda. You know. 1 second. So fuck your propaganda. You know, I could really give two shits. You know, we already know where it's going. Although I do keep an eye on certain things. Of course. But your latest, greatest conspiracy theory, crapshoot. No, I'm not in it. I ain't with it. I don't know nothing about it. Um, I don't know the truth or realms. I have no clue what the fuck's going on. So, and then I tell you, it's been great. You know, I can't complain. Shout out to Angel Z. She catches me. Shout out to Richard Quinn. You know, I also seen. I also happened to see. In Rochester, well, in Greece, New York. I happened to see Michael. Shout out to Michael if he's out there. I happened to see Michael. While I was passing through in Greece. Good to see Michael. He's came out. I met him in Buffalo before. So good. That's a good brother right there. So shout out to Michael. I ain't forget you if you listen to this video or check it out. So can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay, I'm good. What was the last to speak? Oh, man, come on, man. I done sent to you before, man. That Shaheed boast. Man be dropping nothing but truth bombs. I mean, nothing but truth bombs. Shit the truth of realms ain't ever even heard before. It's from an outside perspective looking into the United States. He just be dropping shit left and right. Um, so yeah, shout out to Richard Quinn right there. That's the Richard. Shout out to you. And, yeah, so I ran into him and Michael out in Greece, New York. Man, good to see him. Good to see him. And he know what time it was. First thing he said was, he already know. He don't rock out like that no more. Yeah. Yeah, man. You saw the video, Will. Man, shit. Break through the algorithms, man. It worked. It worked, man. I don't know how I broke through the algorithms, but I broke through the algorithms, and and it's a good thing, man. Because what I realized is, I guess the journey, awakening, whatever you want to call it, the fake and real one that got intertwined with each other. What I realize now is that we went the wrong way. And by us being out of the way, gave them a lot of room to program a whole population, you know, that was it's actually a really slick chess move, you know. But now I could see that it was a way to get a bunch of people who knew something was up and ask questions and, you know, are just you know, fed up, things that things of that nature out of the way so they could program a younger, not a younger, but a baby awakeners, right? They had to get a bunch of people out of the way. So going back and looking at it now, I see that that's exactly what they did. They got a bunch of people out of the way to say, F politics, F this, F that, isolate yourself, be by yourself. Anyone who's not awake, get away from me. The sheep flock fucks. When in reality is we were supposed to stay there, stick it out, hash it out. Because what I found out is now it's a wave of people that are, you know, just finding all this stuff out. And they need people like us. That, I mean, we've been doing this so long, we don't forgot. And these people are newly learning about this stuff. You know, you kind of did full circle. And you go back to the normies who are just saying like they know something's wrong, you know? And you gotta, you know, pitch them the breadcrumbs, and you know, they listen. And you know, well, me being on this journey for so long, um, me being on this journey so long, um, you learn that, you know, everybody's not built the same. People have different understandings, different perceptions, different mentalities. Just everything's different. And you can't force what you know, believe, or or say on to other people. Just can't do that. And when they reject it or don't like it or don't agree with you, you shouldn't cast them away. That's not how it works. You know, and they have trained us to think in these ways so it does separate us. It's like oil and water. It don't mix. And what I've realized is and learned is how to actually mix that into the water. You know, is how to get the oil in the water, because without water you can't make oil. You know, we were trying to do it, you know, oh, just pour the water in with the oil. No, it doesn't work. You know, you go into the inner makings of the oil, you can blend that oil with the water, and now it's all one, right? That's something that we didn't understand. You know, we woke up and want to tell everybody, and everybody shut us off, and then we said, fuck you, and then a big argument, da, da, da. No, 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 we was never supposed to do that. We wasn't supposed to cast each other away, you know? But you want to get on? Hell yeah. Let me drop the link. Anybody want to get on? My bad, I ain't reading the comments. But, you know, let me get this link in there. But that's what I have realized, man. You gotta come. I'll drop the link in 1 second. No. Come on, man. Please, come on, please. Can we just, man, this is why I have farewell up here. I'm not gonna do any videos anymore. It's not really, it's it's pointless. You know what I'm saying? It really is. And that's the thing. Exactly. That's exactly where I was about to go. Was into this whole whatever it was, right? Because it ain't what it was. It was once a thing that was totally hijacked. You know, it was totally hijacked, manipulated. You know, It was totally. So, and you know that's what I learned is you got to come back. And when you come back, guess what? Those people that didn't want to talk to you, didn't listen to you, now they can hear you. Now they can understand. You're not gonna hit everybody, but you don't hit them with the insults and all that. Now the people that come out with your insult, of course, insults you can insult them, but you can actually do it in a better way. And you technically don't even have to do that. You know, when you've been doing this for so long, you can come to a point where you don't have to. Nothing. What could bother you? You know what I mean? As long as we've been doing this shit, what could somebody say to bother you? Nothing. One, it's the internet, right? It's not real life. It's not real words. It's not real human emotions, right? People take it as that, but I never really adopted that ideology. You know, I could be animated and showing a lot of emotion and energy on here towards a thing, but not towards like really people. It could talk shit about people, this and that, but it's really meaningful. It's really, I mean, it's not meaningful. Not meaningful, but it's not meaningful at all. Really doesn't mean anything. I don't say shit, and when I've seen somebody, I'm like, "What the fuck I say?" I don't even think I don't even. You turn off this shit, and you're like, you feel stupid because it's not real. You know what I mean? And have people pissed me off online before? Yeah, but not really, because it is what it is. You show up in real life. That's different. I've always been able to say, well, cool, but real life is over here. And have people done shit to fuck people's real life? Yeah. Unfortunately. You know. So, but what you do realize is, you know, you realize that it was an actual movement to move us the fuck out of the way. Move people out of the way so they could propagate a whole different side. Then they hijacked what that movement did and put their own faces in there and fucked them up some more, you know? And these people are still out there, hardcore, believe in this crap. But there's still a much more people that know something's going on, that can see both sides is fucked up now. I mean, it's bad, and a lot of people are noticing. So that's what I've learned. I've come full circle to come back, go all the way down, all the way down to my home fucking town. You know what I mean? And then it's like, yeah, like, where you been? We need you to know. You don't know. You don't need me to do anything. Y'all, this is what y'all do. Y'all, you guys. I mean, there's no complaining anymore. This is your call. This is from you. You know. And I still do all the shit that I used to do. You know. But it's a different. It's a different. Now it's a different, and it's a understanding, a greater understanding. It ain't never give up. You know. But now it's a back down to people who know you, people who've seen you, stuff like that. Not online, you know? And it's a totally different ball game, man. Totally different ball game. Man, let me put this link up here. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Do this shit. This thing is all different since I've been on here. Nope, that's logo. Come on, I'm gonna try to post a comment. All right. Invite guests. There we go. Boom, copy. Copy. All right, I'm gonna hit here. Paste that there. Boom. Sorry. There it goes. Shit, I almost hit end. There it goes. All right, there it goes. So there's the link. So yeah, I just wanted to come on and just make a video. I had some time to kill and just touch down. I still think about y'all, a lot of y'all all the time. You know, it's just I ain't got nothing to say. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Everything's where we said it. Everything is where we said it was going. So what is there to talk about? Nothing. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing for me to talk about if it's already where it's going. You know? We already know the drill. Everybody can see it all unfolding right in front of their face. You know? Everybody can see it all. So, all right, here we go. What the hell is that? Zach Hanky 47. What the fuck that is? I don't know who that is. Somebody said Zach Hanky 47. I'm not playing with the shit games. You see, I mean, that's another thing. You see how, like, when you go look at, like, besides a handful of people, what, think about it. Like, what, I mean, ah, I don't even know. I don't even know. All right, there we go. Little turbid. Oh, that was you. That was,
I just wanted to let you know.
oh, my
Yeah,
bad, man. I
Frankie.
thought that was you.
Yeah, because I had to hop up and let everybody know that I just did the math. That
That you what?
uh oh, it's on its way. Hold on. I'm gonna kill this. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I wanted to let you know that I just figured it out that Jackie Robinson was born on a Tuesday, and if you minus that by 75, yeah, it's 201. And you wouldn't have guessed that. And Richard Quinn was if you Richard Quinn, interestingly enough, Richard Quinn born on a Thursday, Jackie Robinson born on a Wednesday. You multiply that exponentially by the dividend, solve for pi, and get the antigen of the right hypotenuse of a hexagon, 47. Now I just wanted to say, to add to what you were saying in all seriousness, bro. No, I think you're pretty astute with your assessment, because I feel like in a way you're like, yeah, that was kind of like a divide and conquer, and you're right. We should never push people away. We should never cast people away, and that hit me in the field. So thank you for saying that.
Yes, it
But
did.
but
That
also,
was one. That was one of our biggest mistakes, man. Because you go back and look at it, you know, we were supposed to have these disagreements, but accept these people because they don't know. Don't get mad at them. Even if they get mad at us, you know what? It is what it is. I mean, it's just if we know this stuff, we know it's true. If they don't accept it yet, you know, it is what it is. Because guess what? I've ran into a lot of people now that when I was talking that shit, ain't believe me and talk shit. That now it's like, man, you were right, or oh man, I'm sorry, or I get a lot of that stuff going on, you know. So, and I tell them, well, I'm sorry for calling you this and that and this and that, but people just wasn't ready, and it's just like, even with family, I ran into that, like it is what it is, kind of, you know. It just that was the wrong thing to do, you know. Oh damn, he done fell off. Oh, wait, let me bring him back in.
all right. So yes and no. So I agree with you, right? There are certain people that you don't want to like. like I'll just be I'll keep it a buck right now. Like my
Of
brother,
course, not everybody. There's some
it's
straight,
not everybody. So look, everything's on a spectrum, right? And you should always try to be benevolent with your people. You know what I'm saying? With people in general. But as you know very well, you're right, the Matrix. Some people you need to give them a little push. Some people you need to plant the seed. Some
right,
people you need to smack upside the head, and some people they need like there are certain people that you need to give them a verbal beat down, and sometimes a
right.
physical beat down for them to understand this. And some people are just never meant to understand that in this lifetime, and that's fine.
Right.
It's tough, but what you're saying is true. Like it's so funny because I'm not even on this tip at all, bro. Like one of my friends is like, dude, you gotta go check out Candace Owens is on Kirk, and but bro's like, yo, did you hear what's going on in Israel? And I'm like, yo, I don't care at all, bro. I don't
Right.
care. I don't care, bro. And like,
There,
don't get me wrong.
you know the sad part? There's people that are sending me shit from Alex Jones. Like I don't like Alex Jones. You know what? I let them have it. You know, I say, well, you know, he's a governor, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not. It just is what it is because I remember we listened to Alex Jones, right? I mean,
True.
it just is what it is. So I
And
can't
so
get
that's the
mad
thing
at
is
him for
like,
that.
the way I look at it is like we're all different, right? But there's a lot of nuance to this. And what you're saying, I love what you've been saying, but I think because this is the thing with you, yeah. Sometimes you're so smart, like I want to give even more context to what you're saying. Because you're absolutely like what you're saying is so astute, but I feel like somebody needs to have their shard sharpened, and I'm not even there yet. And I know other people are missing out. So I don't want people listening to think that what we did for many years wasn't awesome and didn't
Oh
literally
no, it
change the
was
world.
definitely awesome. Yeah, it was,
And
of
we and
course
we
it
and we
was.
changed we changed the world and we made it awesome. But now
Exactly.
things have
They,
changed and
they,
we have
they
to update with
hijacked
the
it.
times.
Yeah, they hijacked it. So you gotta go back and play in their realms, and that's what I've done. It's like I went back in their forums, their MAGA forums, their Trump forums, their liberal forums, their all the little forums, and I just that's where I was. Hey, what are you gonna do? You're gonna be in the echo chamber talking to each other, or what? For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost you again.
No, I'm still here. I'm like, there's
Okay.
no reason to show my face.
Like it became to a point to where it's like you're just kind of beating a dead horse. You know,
It's not
that's
even beating the dead. So, like, I want to give even a little
and we're
more
and we're
context,
st-
right?
and we're stuck and we're stuck in we were stuck in the algorithm. I know I was. You were too. I mean, come on. How you
Yeah,
gonna
and that's
get
why.
millions of views? How you gonna get millions of views on someone else's shit, and they only watch it because you? But then when you make some shit, you get a fucking 100 people watching. 100 views or whatever the hell it is.
Well,
So you were
just
stuck in the algorithm too.
yeah, man. Dude, you were viral before viral's a thing. That's why you're on right the Matrix 58 right now, right? So, but
Right.
the thing is, it's like we did what we had to do, and were we perfect at it? No, you're right, and you bring up a very good point about like casting people away because I did that. I was very egotistical. I'm gonna come out here and point the finger at myself and say, oh yeah, oh you don't care about this, you don't care about child trafficking, you don't care about the loss of human freedoms, you don't care about what's going on. Oh, screw you, you don't understand me. I hate you, right?
Right,
So,
right. I
and
mean,
that's wrong.
and a prime example is they doing it in the comment sections right now. Like Richard Quinn, okay, he fucks with Gematria. He's still cool with me. Like I never really adopted that herd mentality. I never really
And
understood
the
it,
thing
but
is, I'm cool with him too. I was just trolling him and trolling everybody in the chat because I was just like, I'm just like on one tonight, and I'm just having the lows.
right, right.
I'm all for the
I'm
lows.
okay. Cuts he's cool. I don't have a problem with Cuts. I don't have a problem with Richard Quinn. Why do in its communities they want you to be mad at
I
the
know, bro.
if you're and that's the cult mentality. They
And
want you
that's
to
the
be
thing
mad at whatever they're mad at, and if you're not, it's fuck you too. Now they got to come after you. You know what I mean?
because I'm just like you. I don't even know Richard and Cuts as well as you do, but I do know him pretty good. But like, I got love for both of them. I literally like Richard is one of the nicest people you could ever meet in your life. Like literally, like I know
Listen, I'm gonna
if I
tell.
was,
Listen, Cuts would give you his shirt off his fucking
yeah,
back,
they
and
both, they
Richard,
both,
Richard,
yep.
Richard will he'll pull his drawers off and give them to you. So I mean, well, that's just how they are. They're both
No, they're
cool ass
great. They're
dudes.
they're great. They're great people. And you know what? Like no matter what, man, I'm happy for this experience, man. Life is a beautiful ass experience. Like, dude,
Right.
it was great. It was great to go out to Oklahoma City and meet a whole
That
bunch of
shit was
awesome
that shit was
people.
dope. It was dope as fuck. It was beautiful.
And that's the thing is like we meet so many different people on this path. And you know what? The thing I was trying to talk about earlier is like, you know what? Like we're all infighting with each other, but we're like family ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like I don't care. Even like Cuts and Richard are salt of the earth people. They're awesome people that would do anything for a stranger. And then
Right.
people would be like, okay, but bro, you could think about somebody, whoever you could think about that you're diametrically opposed. Maybe it's the far right MAGA, maybe it's Antifa person. But bro, at least they're getting off their ass to do something. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
because
Right.
of the work that the Matrix has done, and all these other people, even if you don't agree with everything that they said, yo, they raised the vibration of the planet. Nowadays, when we were growing up, bro, we had a tough time telling people what's going on. Now people know sports is rigged. Now people know entertainment's rigged. Now people know everything is the game and politics is the game and Epstein is running everything. People already know that, so people are more wise. Yeah, right. The Matrix put in that work to let us see, but now the game is kind of divided a little bit different. We're going to be more clever, and that's why I subscribe to Yeah, right. The Matrix to find out like, what should I be looking for next? Because
Right.
I'm
I
on the same
appreciate it.
I'm on the same tip as you, bro. Like I don't even care about that. My boy was like, "Oh yeah, did you hear what's going on in the UK and Israel?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't care." Like, and that's crazy
Yeah,
to say.
I don't even know what the fuck. I don't really know. Like, I don't know what's going on because I'm not. I
And I
don't
don't
even
want
care.
to.
I'm wasting my fucking energy on that shit. You know. So wasting my fucking energy on that shit. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know, man. So
All right.
I don't
So
even
big
know.
news. So big news. Wu-Tang Clan final tour, bro. We gotta go, man. We gotta take the kids. We
Yeah, I guess
gotta.
you know who was in Rochester today? I
Who?
ain't there, but GSL News, Jeffrey, he was
Oh,
here.
he's back.
He covered it. No, he covered it. 38 special. He came up to Rochester.
Oh, that's my boy. Yo,
He actually was doing. He went to the hood, like the hood in Rochester, and had a huge block party. And keep in mind, this is the same day that the mayor just issued a emergency order. If you're out after 11, gather 10 or more, you could go to jail for a misdemeanor. You believe that shit?
no way.
Yeah.
First of all, 38 Special just jumped up my list of favorite rappers right there. That is some real ish. Why are they saying you can't be on the streets after a certain time?
Because of all the violence. Meanwhile, they just posted a story. Homicides are down in Rochester 75%, but yet the mayor comes out and his way to curb violence was fuck it. Anybody out after 11, if it's 10 or more people gathered, you're in violation of this new ordinance they're putting out there.
And yeah, right, the Matrix. You know what the crazy thing is? It's like, remember, that's one of the things I learned in kindergarten is like you didn't get punished for something that somebody else did. You know,
Right.
this ain't the army, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if this guy
You know the
doesn't
sad thing about it? All the people in Rochester are like, yeah, we need to do something. They need a curfew. Guess what they did? Every fucking body got a if 11 to 5 a.m. If you gather 10 or more in public spaces, they gonna come fucking break that shit up. You could be
you can't
arrested and
have a
charged with a
party.
misdemeanor.
You can't have in the party in the summer. You can't
You gotta
enjoy
have
yourself in the summer.
in the public spaces. You gotta have a permit. Well, you know me. I read the order. It's not even enforceable. They ain't gonna really do none of that shit. It's literally written like a 5-year-old when you read it legally. Like it's just straight bullshit. Because at the bottom it says nobody's Fourth Amendment, First Amendment will be violated. You know, free speech.
Okay, so you can't search me and you can't.
And they
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
check this out. And they said you could peacefully protest. It's not going to affect that. So I told people, I said,
I'm gonna
look,
go up to
I said, look,
Rochester, homie.
if you're out after 11 and you're gathered, this gives you a reason to be out after 11 because you could just say you're protesting. That's it. You're protesting the ordinance. So that's what we're doing. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
no weapon formed against us shall prosper, bro.
It's
I love
stupidest
that,
shit
dude.
ever, man.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm
god,
gonna be
dude.
documenting that shit this weekend. I'm gonna be documenting to see if they're gonna be out there fucking doing that stupid shit.
Damn, I wish I could ride up this weekend. I cannot. But dude,
There's
that
been
is
so much
that's.
shit going on. See, there's been a lot
By
of
the way,
shit going on in my own area. So just like you've been busy in your own area. I've been busy in my own area, so it's a lot going
when
on.
you said, bro, when you said I didn't even, it's so crazy to think that someone like I met you because me and you are on that same wavelength, and to think
Right.
that hearing you say that I didn't even know about the wildfires when I got caught up with them, bro. I was in a restaurant. And I came out. I was like, "What the heck is going on, bro?" And
For
it's
real?
so for me
For
and you to
real?
be on that same wavelength, it really strengthens me to realize that I'm on the right path. Because if you guys don't know, first of all, like, share, and subscribe to all Yeah Right the Matrix pages. Go into YouTube, type in Yeah Right the Matrix. There's about 75 pages because they keep deleting them like whack-a-mole. Subscribe to all of them. But bro, Yeah Right the Matrix, bro, is one of the few people. He was talking about Here's the Deal, High Impact Flicks. And I don't even watch his channel that much anymore because I don't even watch it at all, honestly, because I agree with almost everything he says, although he still reigns slightly righter than I do. But I love him. He's an amazing person, and I agree with almost all of his takes. But like, Yeah Right the Matrix is somebody that's on another level of like more than just meat and potatoes, on some like spiritual, like etherical, like esoteric type level. And I know if I'm moving in the same thing as him, because I was like, damn, do I really want to get out the game? And and it's like, it's true. You got to
Well,
move.
you know who helped. You know, I can't take all the credit for that. You know, my brother Wise kind of sharpened me up a little bit. You know, and you were blessed to meet who we all three of us. I don't know how that shit came together, but we all met. Remember that time? That was a beautiful time, man.
Dude,
Remember that shit?
honestly, okay, so let me tell you, bro. I was like, I'm actually at a campground right now, bro. I haven't went camping
Oh,
since
for real?
you. I'm at a random ass campground, bro. It's so fun, bro. I haven't been camping, yo, bro.
And
So chill, bro. We gotta go. Yo, we need to play. Forget all the rest of the stuff, bro. We need to play ball, bro. We need to run some ball, bro.
oh, places, man, I'm still
Next time
sore
you
from playing in a basketball tournament, man.
I seen them jerseys you guys made, them shit on Instagram. Those are fire, bro. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
And yeah. And you
They
said I don't want no other man's name on my thing. That's like a Run DMC rhyme. He was like some shit. No, Calvin Klein don't want nobody's name on my behind. Yeah. Nah.
Man, I learned that. Make it so bad. I learned that when I was like 14. I started making my own jerseys and had my own name on it. You know,
Nah, yeah.
back in the
Yeah, but
days, I would make my own jersey.
we're gonna run some ball. Next time you're in New York, let me know. We're gonna meet up. And
Yeah,
we're gonna
yeah,
play.
yeah. I'll do that. But yeah, that's just crazy at a campground, man. I gotta go. I gotta go camping. I ain't been able to do a lot of shit, you know. So, but
Oh man, yeah. Nah, honestly, man, this is I use the law of attraction like crazy the other day. I'm gonna tell you about it off camera, but I use the law of attraction like crazy the other day. And I'm like,
that's
wow. You
that's
know, and
good.
that's what we need to kind of
You
like
get,
focus on is like,
you get to a point where you don't gotta use it. You just know when it comes because you just be like, it'll just be an everyday thing. You be like, damn, okay. And then
I
sometimes
think
you
I
gotta
might be
wonder,
at that
you gotta
level, bro.
you gotta refresh yourself and be like, yeah, because sometimes I forget. I be like,
All
what
right, so
shit?
yeah, right, the
What
Matrix.
did I
If you,
shouldn't have. Why am I even expecting
I
anything
want you,
else? You know?
I want you to elaborate on that because you've mentioned this to me before in person, and I talk about using the law of attraction, but you're a person that like, and if anybody that doesn't know, yeah, right, the Matrix lives a life of abundance. Like he has, like, honestly, he has a beautiful family. He's got amazing children, like their posture, their politeness. They're like, bro, they're the most awesome people, Mo. I love those kids, bro. He's got a
I'm blessed.
beautiful extended family, right? Like, yeah, right. The Matrix lives in abundance in everything he does. He eats good food. He has an abundance of ideas and creativity. So what I'm trying to think is like, how do you harness that? How you're on the next level, like you forget about the law of attraction. How do we apply that? How does the listener out there, most importantly and selfishly me, apply this?
Well, you know what? Going through this whole fake ass spiritual awakening, what I learned was it's not about yourself. All right. And that's one thing with this whole spiritual awakening that I had to figure out. And I used to come on here and spit and scream and shout, like, yourself, get yourself. Yeah. All it's about you and you make everything and all that. No, 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 no. Everything outside of you makes you. And I had to learn that. And when I learned that everything outside of me makes me, it was like a reflection, right? Then I realized, you know what? It ain't all about me. It's all about everything outside of me that makes me. Because if everything outside of you makes you, then that means you are everything. So that's how you got to think of it. But they've trained you through this fake ass spiritual
Okay.
awakening. Hold on, wait. They trained us through this fake ass spiritual awakening to make it all about you. Now you go back and look at those. Go listen to the spiritual gurus. Go listen to all the spiritual people and listen to who they talk about. It's always about them and how they could do it. And if you look at how they even structured social media, that's how they act. Whoever
Wow.
is the
Yeah.
least,
You,
no,
me,
and
me, me. Yeah.
hold on, wait, you were involved in it. It's another brother that come on this platform before. You rarely ever seen him. Is another brother that came on this platform. I'm not going to say his name because he don't want his name out there for the guy to see it. But he went through the same thing too on a spiritual journey. In the head of that, whole thing had the same kind of mentality, right? It's this mentality where it's all about me. I just need you because you power me. And it's all about me. No, it's the other way around. It's all about everybody else outside of you that make you. And that's how you gotta act. That's how you gotta, well, you don't have to act, but that's how you attract. Is by everything else, knowing everything outside of you is you. And you try to be as respectful and live in that energy and don't think that you're above and beyond all these people. Like you never see me come on here and say I'm better than everybody. You ain't never heard me come bragging. I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and I'm that. And you did it. No, 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 no. No, I'm you. I'm like you. If you're hurting, I'm hurt. If you're good, I'm good. If you've been with me, and anybody that been with me know if you around me, oh, we all gonna be good. I'm gonna try to make it so we all good. We're gonna ride out. I'm not gonna leave nobody behind. That's just how it is. I'm thinking about everybody
That's
else.
true. I know we know we don't leave nobody behind. That's true.
You
That's
already know, man. All the shit we've been through, shit, you already know. You know? Unless it's somebody who does something to you, you leave that person behind. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
you
yeah.
already
Somebody
you
crosses
gotta get out of
boundaries.
Dodge.
That's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get out of Dodge. But I'm talking about what makes you and what attracts you. And when you're like that in life, all that stuff comes back, man. All that stuff comes back.
So you're
And
saying,
again, remember I told you? Well, wait,
you're
remember
saying the
when I
key
told you?
is
Wait, no, remember when I
you're
told you
breaking up.
about?
God.
Oh, wait, you hear me now?
Yeah, God.
Remember when I told you about, the broken heart in a million pieces?
Yeah. Well,
And,
explain it to everybody else too, and remind me.
all this comes from people who've had their hearts broken. And it's not from love from a relationship. It's just life in general, from family, friends, society, whatever the case may be. Your heart might have been shattered a million times. But guess what? You always got love for somebody else. Some people, when they get their heart broken,
Hmm.
guess what they become? The people
Yep.
they become heartbreakers. And it's not like heartbreakers in relationship. No, it's heartbreakers in everything in life. to where they become like this to everybody. And it could be in a minuscule amount, but you can see those actions in somebody. Like I could talk to somebody in 5 minutes and say, yeah, this motherfucker's all about themselves. And they could be saying, oh, how talking all about me, like talking to me about me. But I could pick up this motherfucker's all about themselves. You know, I could see that a mile away. You know, so the people that's had their hearts broken so many times, right, have so much love to give, right? So you already know when you give love, it comes back. It just has to. That's just the way it works. That's the law of attraction. We call it love, right? But it's not hearts for like a relationship. It's just love in general, love for all things, you know. But they told us what? Center these things on a relationship, a hobby, a sport, music, a talent. No, man, it's supposed to be for everything, man. You know, and that's how you bring all that abundance. You know, and I'm blessed. You know, with my family. That's all I need. You know, that my family is what pushes all this stuff out, and it radiates through them. You know, because everywhere they go, they get the same things that I get. You know, and then people pour themselves out to them. You know, you've had this happen to you. You go to somebody, you say, "Hey, how you doing?" Or you're out in public, a random stranger come up to you and spill their whole life story to you. That's a gift that you got. You know, people feel comfortable around you. People can open up to you. People can. I've had people cry talking to me. I'm like, shit, I didn't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the law of attraction. You know, that's living in abundance of just love. You know, and I'm experiencing this now, right now, tenfold in my own hometown. I didn't expect it. I was kind of pulled into it. You know, and it's just coming that way. You know. So you still there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out what I can do to get Mar to attract better basketball skills so I don't beat him again.
So yeah, man,
Uh,
that's I know it's a lot, but that's what it basically boils down
no,
to.
honestly, that you put it really well because the first time when you were saying that, I kind of didn't understand it, but also too, it kind of even me, aside from what you said, I kind of take from it like having a healthy,
Because it's also doing everything with your heart instead of your mind. Like I move with my heart, and sometimes that's why it gets broken. Because I'm like, shit, I'll do this. You know, firsthand, I do this for somebody and they fuck me. Okay, but I did it because I actually cared. Like I didn't just do it just to say, oh yeah, like no, I just did it because I really wanted to help that person or something like that. And you'll get screwed sometimes, but guess what? It'll come back. You know what I mean? It'll
even if
come
it
back in
even if
another
it
form.
even if it doesn't come back, it really
It
doesn't.
always
Honestly,
comes back. You just never look for
even
it.
if even hypothetically, if it doesn't, which I do believe it does come back, it doesn't make a difference. And I've had my heart broken by people, my family, the world, the way I thought shit was supposed to be. But I still like try to come to, and and honestly, after this conversation, I'm gonna do a better job at this. But I still try to approach everybody I meet with like love and humor and and try to be as understanding as I can. But
Right,
it's
right.
also like,
And again, love isn't love and light. Love might be like, yo, love may be like, um, it might be like,
yo, homie,
uh,
you're drinking too many Monster Energy drinks.
or it might be like, I don't know how to say it right now. It's not rolling off the tongue right, but it might be like something where somebody says something to you and you flip that around like, no, that shit don't work like that. I don't know what you talking about. Let me show you how it actually works. Boom, 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 boom. And then they're looking like, holy shit, like, whoa. And it's like, hey, it is what it is. I mean, it sounds direct, but it's just a different delivery when you go to giving someone information now. Before, it used to be like, yo, this, that, this, and this, that, this, and that. And they'd be like, oh, I don't think that. And they'd be like, oh, man, this is what it is. And they'd be like, fuck. Now, I wish I can give an instance on how I do it. I just roll it around and I pitch it back. And you know what? I may get an argument, my arguments now are arguments that turn into agreements and say, wow, you know, I didn't even think of it that way. When first off, I was like, oh, you fucking asshole, you fucking Trumper, libtard, or some stupid shit. And then it comes into maybe a few days later, like, wow, I didn't like what you were saying, but I get what you're saying now. Even though we don't agree, I'm really following
Yeah.
what you're saying, you know?
They
And that's
always
how it's
add that
supposed to be.
caveat. They always
Because
say that
remember,
caveat.
yeah, people have been into, they've been pushed into a subjective mindset and locked into one way of thinking and put in a box. And this time we got to open up these boxes now because these people are caught in this like chamber, and that's all they know. The chamber's full of everything's already programmed. And I remember I last left off of AI. The AI isn't taking over humanity. You know what I'm saying? The AI, the people are turning into the AI. Like that's what people don't
Yeah.
understand.
Oh my god. Okay, bro. So I've been delving into AI for the last month, like really, really heavy. And bro, if you look, okay, so I just want to give everybody things to notice. This has been happening for several years, right? Listen to the way people talk on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
not wait, it's not what they're saying. They're repeating what Chat GPT and Claude is telling
Man,
them, right?
I watch people, and I could tell by the way they're portraying whatever they're portraying. They've used ChatGPT to pack it together and make it sound like I've known this for years.
At the end, they'll always say, anytime you hear at the closing of a video in the last 3 minutes, someone say cautionary tale,
yeah,
it's ChatGPT. Like, bro,
These
there
are
are
all-
certain
these
words
are all-
and phrases that they.
man, it's not only that. There's certain you could listen to the sound, the syllables.
Bro,
You could listen to the pauses in the voice, and you know it's AI. And I just what I've been trying to tell people. Like now, there's
and
people
so
that
here's the
actually
thing.
speak
This
to
is
you
why
like
we
that.
actually. This is why we need to get involved with AI so we understand what's going on and we can be at least somewhat empowered. And at least if we're not
Exactly.
empowered, at least understand what's going on. Because, bro, the thing about this is, right? Okay, so what you're saying, everything is going to be so homogenous because right now, the top YouTubers, they just say, oh, what's the top thing that's on YouTube? And then they just copy it and do that. So everything is
Right.
becoming the same. What was successful in business? So everything is just the same. Everything's gonna be the same. The way you stand out. And let me just land the plane here. The way you stand out here is your niche, your business, whatever you want to do with your life, your trajectory, your music, whatever your passion, your gift is. You marry that with AI. You use those AI tools and agents to work for you. But you stand out, you be yourself, and then you use the AI to employ that out there because everything is becoming very homogenous, bro. And honestly, bro, I can't tell you how many times, bro, like sometimes I want to get away from like the conspiracy stuff, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna listen to old time baseball stuff, right? And then I'll fall asleep to a games, and then it'll change, and then all of a sudden some AI slap. There's a baseball player. His name is Sandy Koufax, right? He's a Hall of Fame pitcher, one of the best pitchers of all time, right? I'm over here listening to some documentary. I think it's a real documentary. All of a sudden, Sandy Koufax was and these guys can't even pronounce the names of these guys, and it's like, bro, like use your humanity, understand it too, because, bro, you want to understand what these people are using, bro, and just yourself too. Like I'm gonna say one more thing, like, bro, think of
what do you think I've been doing for the past 2 years? I studied this shit hard body,
bro, you were using that with Black's Law Dictionary 2, 4, 6 years ago, bro. And now I just been on this tip. I'm working with Nick. We're gonna talk about this afterwards. And I'm thinking I just came to the realization, bro. Think about this, right? Oh, remember when we was in COVID and we were seeing all the businesses shut down?
Right.
Think about the very few mom and pop small businesses left in this country. Do they have research and development teams that can finance their own AIs, or are they not going to learn it? So that's what I'm saying. If we don't learn it, think about all the business that shut down during COVID. If you only want to eat at Costco, Starbucks, and McDonald's, great. Don't learn AI, right? But
Right.
if you want to have a regular, like that's the crazy thing that we need to realize. If you want to go into a bodega and grab yourself a snack, a beer, you know what I'm saying, a cigarette, a Black and Mild, without getting felt up and having your digital card read, you might want to learn AI.
Yeah. Yeah. People need to learn that shit because they might not even know. Well, I know when I'm talking to a bot. I know when it's an AI. I know when there's a person using the AI to respond to me. I call it straight out, like, "Yo, thanks, but that's not you. How about you tell me instead of Chat GTP or whatever the hell you're using?" Like, I know the text analytics, all that shit. Like, it's super easy once you learn it to like sniff the shit out. But a lot of people, they have no clue. Like, people talk about the
Yo.
videos and the pictures, but they don't talk about the text, the posts, the analytics,
Exactly.
like what you said about YouTubers using it. Like you said, Brian, like I know when Brian's using ChatGTP, which is cool, but that he's using it as a tool.
Like they're like
and
exactly.
but that's how he actually talks. You see? But he uses it to read it. Long Island Audit. I check his video out. I think he actually used the damn AI of himself and does the damn presentation sometimes when he's not doing the real in the field
Yep.
shit. Like
Yep.
when he's home, I think he uses the fucking AI avatar of himself because I could tell it's AI that's reading, but I can't tell if it's his actual him or him physically. Or because the camera kind of
And I'm not even necessarily mad at that. But this is
no,
the thing
I'm
is
not mad
like,
at it. That's a good tool, but you gotta know when people
exactly.
are using
You gotta
it,
know.
you know?
You gotta know, right? Because like at the end of the day, like this is
I mean, it is a
whether you
tool,
want to
and if I had that many followers, I would fucking use that shit too because fucking at the same time, you tell me I could just write a script and it could do it for me. Well, go ahead. Why not? It's still my message. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't know why in this truther community it was all. Oh, it's this. I mean, I get it, but it's a tool. It's here. What are you gonna do? Just get left in fucking?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing as the internet, right? Oh, none of us would be here.
Right.
Okay, these idiots created the internet and thought it was going to trap us all down. And for a good amount, that did work. But us, the people, we fought back and we used the internet to expose all of them, right? And so there's the same thing right now with this new technology. And the thing is, like, I want to be able to build myself up to the point where I know and I can talk about AI and people look at me as a credible source, and people are understanding what's going on with AI, so that when they do pull something, well, there's going to be a whole bunch of awakened people, and you're not going to be able to pull the wool over our eyes because we're all going to be informed as to how this technology works.
Right.
You know, there was a picture the other day. It was Charlie Kirk, Michael Jackson, and George Floyd, and haters are going to say that's AI, but it's real.
Right.
But
the government doesn't like AI that much. They don't like that shit. You know, they don't like the AI themselves. So they gotta, they don't like it because people using that shit against them. They don't like that shit. You know, it's faster.
And the thing is, like,
they could, you know how many FOIA requests they get? Well, shit, he could, like. Anybody can get FOIA. Now they're like trying to make all these new rules and regulations, make it harder and longer and shit because people are figuring out how to do a lot of shit using the AI, which that's a good tool. You know?
That's exactly what we need to do because that's what they try to do. They try to use the internet as a cage to box us in, and we use that as a tool. And now this is just a new tool. And I don't know why everyone's acting like boomers, but we need to use the new tool to do the same thing we always did. You know, it's like the printing press back in the day. The printing press used to be bad because the king would just say, hey, if you're here past sundown, or hey, if you don't pay your taxes, or hey, if you don't give me your wife, And then other people were like, nah, yo, this king's actually whack, and yo, we should go
Right.
storm the castle, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a new
It's a
technology,
tool. It's
bro.
a
We gotta get
good tool.
it's a
If
new
you use it
tool.
for the right shit, it's a good tool. I mean, you could draft up documents, contract, all kind of shit, real fast, real easy. I mean, it's just, especially if you already know what you already know things. Well, it makes it a lot faster, so you don't got to do it.
Lost the homie. All right, hold on. You cut out for like 15 seconds. Go
Oh,
back.
I said, drafting up legal documents and shit like that, contracts, it makes it a lot easier. It's a really
I
good
mean,
tool.
you can take a
And the average person only uses the AI about 5 to 10% of its total power. So imagine when you really learn how to use it. There's videos on there that show you, and that shit, I'd be like, my jaw hit the floor when they tell me what it can really do.
Yo,
There's
get
one
ready to Matrix.
Indian guy. There's an Indian guy on there.
Tomorrow, once I leave the campground, I'm gonna give you a call. I'm gonna talk to you about some cool ideas I have that I know you got some ideas for me, so I'll selfishly take some, but I got some cool ideas for you too. Because yeah, honestly, like I used to make fun of Nick and Mellows in the background because I would be in front of the camera doing stuff and they'd be cooking up websites and they'd be working on the servers and they'd be making things and they'd create bots and all this stuff back in the day, and I'd be like, oh, what are you gonna go DNS a cloud server? And now I'm like,
Yes.
yo, this is like, it's like somebody that never watched baseball or somebody that doesn't understand Spanish, understanding baseball or Spanish for the first time. I'm like, oh, this actually, I get this. This actually, like, it's just like human beings. We hate learning new things. That's just how it is. Even me, I'm a child of the internet. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people. We don't really necessarily like learning new things. But once you get it's like riding a bike. It's like at first, you know what I'm saying? But then once you get the groove of it, it's like, oh, dang, I'm gonna start drinking and driving on this bike. Just kidding.
Right. Shit. That's crazy. Yeah, man. But it's pretty, yeah, I don't know. It's good.
It's good, man.
It's good to get up on here and not have to talk about conspiracy theories and shit. The latest, greatest story that's going on in the fucking world. I couldn't even, me and you, someone could get out here and ask us what's going on in the world. And shit, we wouldn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna tell you a funny story, right? This has nothing to do with conspiracy. So, there was this dude. Oh, by the way, I'll use this platform right now to publicly disavow and decry this thing. I don't know if I've got a chance to say it publicly because I had 2 strikes on my joint, and so I was trying to release videos and I haven't been able to. But now I'm off.
Oh, you got strikes on your channel?
Bro, I uploaded a old video of me auditing a cop, and they were like, "Oh, you're insulting him." I'm like, and they gave me a strike. I'm like, bro, he's a cop, and I'm not saying anything like, I'm not, you know me, bro. I spaz on people, bro. And I wasn't.
You got a strike for a cop video.
And then I was like, bro, there's no way. Like, I spaz on people way harder.
All the shit that's on the internet. Wait a minute. All the shit that's on the internet with cop watching, and you got a strike for a cop video?
Yo, bro, they took. And that was the second strike, bro. And I'm like, bro, so I couldn't post nothing. So I'll take this time to say.
So you're the #1 censored auditing channel on the internet now.
I mean,
and you didn't even audit. And you didn't even fucking audit.
Bro, they won't even let me put my audit videos up there, bro. I was like, bro, are you serious? Like, this is crazy. I put an appeal, and within 20 minutes or less, they were like, yeah, no. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about, bro? This is a cop, and I spazzed. I won't even say for the sake of right the Matrix channel some of the things I said, but I spazzed. I make cops cry, bro.
My channel's, I'm squeaky clean now, baby. All my channels I've been a good old boy. I don't talk about nothing, I guess. I don't post shit. I don't talk about nothing. I guess that's what keeps it clean.
Honestly, though, that's the thing is, like, there's really not much to talk about. It's like whether people
what am I going to talk about? Everybody's already talking about what I would be talking about, so there's nothing to talk about because we already knew what was coming about.
There's only like almost everybody at this point knows what's going on, and I mean, I don't know what's best, but in my journey here, I think that if I were people, what I think maybe the best practice would be to like live your life to the absolute best that you can, and then if you got some time, get involved in doing that other stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Do a
Yeah,
little bit of both. But
yeah,
honestly, like you got to fill your cup before you could think about pouring shit into others. You know what I'm saying? Like you really got to take
yeah,
care of yourself.
yeah.
And you know, I want to harp back to what Yeah Right the Matrix said earlier, is like we shouldn't have cast other people away. And I want to apologize for the people in my life that I casted away, because I did. Because I'm like, bro, like if bro, I'm trying to tell you, like, children are being raped right now. Like, what? Are you not? How, if you don't care about that, do you have a soul? Like, what is wrong with
Oh,
you?
yo, that's one story. Wait, hold on. Why you just said something about kids? Did you? I don't know. I don't know no details, but this shit came across my feed that because these kids, not these kids, but this community burned down a fucking house. What you heard about that shit in Minnesota?
Mm-mm.
Where the police were like, I don't know, it came across my feed like the police were like there was a child trafficking house, and then the police were involved, people were saying, and then they went to the house, and then they were like putting teens into a van and driving off, and like
What?
the whole community converged on the house, and then it was like outside with their camera, like, yo, we've been telling y'all something going on in there, da 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 da. Now y'all want to do something. And then they were like, oh hell no, y'all trying to get them out of there. The police, they're saying the police were involved and all kind of shit. And then
Man.
and officials were involved, and all of a sudden, then they burned the bitch down. It was like a big ass house too. Like I was look that shit up.
Notice how they always do that. They always burn something down after the fact.
Well,
I don't even want. I'm not gonna
destroy
say
all the
any
evidence.
I'm not gonna say any examples, but any astute historian could think of a couple for sure. Uh,
Crazy,
wow.
man. Like I don't. That's a story that I heard the other day. I don't know nothing about. It just came my feed. I looked at it, and then that was it. I didn't look
Oh,
no more
yeah, right. The
further.
Matrix. I told you before. I'm gonna tell you again because it's getting a little closer. I mean, I know we don't usually do this, but and we're saying nah. I don't care. I'm mostly retired, but and hey, if you're older and wiser and you got better things to do, and you have some, if you could even tell me some wise stuff, and maybe I'll think of it differently. But as of right now, I do plan to be in New York because this is the big one. This is 25 years,
Oh,
and
really?
I'm gonna be there for that now. But not only that, then I figured, damn, whoever comes, the homies, they come, and you know, girls, trans, they can come too. And homies is an intersexual word, but the homies come. You know what I'm saying? We get the rally and the protest and waking people up and confronting politicians because they're all gonna be there done in the morning. Boom. Then we go out for breakfast. I mean, then boom, we go out for lunch. Then we chill in the city for the day. And then guess what happens that night?
What happens?
Right across the road in New Jersey, Wu-Tang is playing at the PNC Art Center. So we spend the whole day in New York, we're vibing. Then we go chill at my spot in New Jersey. We're pre-gaming, boom, bah, bah, bah. And then we walk right over because I live right next to the center, boom, boom. We hop in there, Wu-Tang Clan. So
That
I'm
would
throwing
be
it out
pretty.
there.
That'd be
So I'm
pretty
throwing it out
tough.
there for Yeah Right the Matrix and the homies. That's the plan. That's the vibe. I got my megaphone, $30 a Tractor Supply. People cut me off in traffic. They hate it. I'd be like, throw your blinker on.
That's funny.
So it's gonna
Yeah,
be lit.
Wu-Tang Clan. Damn.
That's like a perfect day for me right there. Like, like that's like a feed me tacos and tell me I'm pretty. I'm satisfied after that day. A little bit of day drinking on the train. Look out. Look out.
Yeah, it's
But you
crazy,
already know.
man. But yeah,
But
definitely good to get on here and chop it up with you and
I
everybody
appreciate
else.
you having me on. I'm gonna hop off. I
All
love you
right, yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
share
man.
share the shit, and yeah, I'm gonna hit you up tomorrow, man. On my ride, I'm gonna be taking a long ride, so I'm gonna hit you up
All
tomorrow.
right, yeah, hit
Guys,
me up, man.
like, share, and subscribe to Yeah Right the Matrix, all the channels, man. Whatever he says to do, do it. Peace.
All right, man. Peace, man. Shout out to Fake Mike Real News. Shout out to everybody that's up on here still. We kind of got into a like normal conversation while being on a live stream. Cool. That's a cool brother right there. You know. And again, that was a blessing to meet him and Wise together, us three. That was all three A risers. I'll never forget that day, man. Like honestly, man, that was probably one of my most memorable days, man. I would say it, you know, lived a long life. I have a lot of memories, but that is one memory that I could never ever forget, man. It was just like divine timing, and Wise was in the area, and me and Fake Mike were there, and it just worked out, man. Blessing, I'll never forget that. So shout out to my brother Wise, you know, I'll never forget that, man. You know, even for that short little moment that we met, I knew that was my brother, 100%. So it's not all you know bad with this whole truth and shit. There was some good, but you gotta call it for what it is. It is what it is. People still holding on to this shit. No, man, there ain't no truth community. Ain't never gonna be a truth community. You know, it was a little bit of, but nah, man, this shit's some kind of magic, man. Some kind of weird ass magic that they got out here. You know, and it's like I don't like to say cult like, but it's whatever that is. The only thing you could explain is like a cult like. That's what they've done. You know, it's like my country's better than yours, my community's better than yours. Like, I like my community, I'll bomb your community type shit. You know, so that's what it is. So, and again, it's designed that way through whatever that energy is that makes people, you know, power, power hungry, whatever the hell it is. Feed me. It's all about me. I don't care about you. Hope I never made anybody feel like that. Shit. That ain't never been my thing. Still ain't. Shit. I'll always be the same me. I've had huge TikTok channels. I ain't was like I had one subscriber. I don't care. You know? I've had when I first came here, first channel, 30,000 subscribers. I had two videos that hit 1 million, over 1 million views. One of them got 5 million views. It was a hooker sting video that me and my boy did in Rochester. A hooker sting. Like we were watching the cops bust people, you know. That video got 5 million views and that channel got deleted soon thereafter. And then I came back, had like 10 or 14,000. And then after that, 3,000. And then after that was deleted. Whatever I got now was the highest I ever got. All the other channels only got like 500, 1,000, shit like that. Before they got deleted, I had so many channels actually deleted, not fake deleted, you know. But it didn't matter to me. I'm still the same guy. Even now, shit. In the month of July this year, videos uh over 1.5 million views in 3 weeks, you know? Shit. So but yeah. Anyways, But yeah, I'll just post like certain stuff here, but I'm not gonna, it's pointless, man. Y'all could email me shit. Did you know everybody's email is on what is that shit? I got every single subscriber. Y'all know y'all email is. I got everybody who subscribes to me. Email is for everybody to see. Like it's not even. I forgot what I gotta go on, but everyone's. What is that you go on? Because I don't use a desktop much, but you go on Microsoft something. When you go to YouTube or whatever it is, it shows everybody's email. Like I forgot what it is, but it's linked to YouTube. Whatever gotta go to YouTube and it's gotta send you to some shit, and Google and all this other shit. Well, when you do, I forgot where it's at, but I found it one day by accidentally emailing myself. It showed like all my goddamn different YouTube channel emails, and I'm like, what? And then I went into the like part where you email, and I would just hit one key, and it would show like whoever the subscriber was. I'm like, wait, what? And then it shows every single subscriber, each and everybody has the email. Everyone who's on this platform, you got an email. So you got my email, I got your email. People don't know that, but it is on there. Everybody's email is whatever you got your account, it's got every single person's email. So I forgot what it was. I was gonna make a video about it, but I thought people knew. But I told some people the other day they had no idea. I was like, yep. Anyone who's on YouTube, everybody has whoever's a subscriber, everybody has your email. Pretty crazy. So I think it's Microsoft. It's in Microsoft. Something in Microsoft. I'm computer dumb. But it's in Microsoft. So give me one quick second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll leave y'all with, not leave y'all, but let some shit play. Give me a second, real quick.
In the Western conception, freedom is the absence of restraint, the removal of obligation. You understand? The primacy of individual desires as the ultimate moral authority. That's not freedom. The conditions under which a human being can actually flourish, certainly as a cohesive society. If you want to have people living together, you can't live like that. A human being without any obligation, without any accountability, without any sort of a purpose beyond their own desires, beyond their own satisfaction, that's not freedom. That's a menace. You understand? And your deen tells you exactly this. If you're a Muslim, you understand that. The nafs that is completely unleashed is destructive to everyone. It's destructive to everyone around it. You can't build any sort of a coherent, cohesive society on the basis of individual freedom and liberty. No, you cannot. And of course, the West has not. America has not. Because that does not work at all. Like I said, as soon as you talk like this, as soon as you talk like this, that liberty, for example, is not the end-all be-all of what a government should guarantee to their people, people reflexively, knee-jerk reflex response is that you must be now advocating for the complete deprivation of all freedoms, of all rights, of individuality, and what have you. This is absurd. This is absurd. This is that dysfunctional binary thinking, this or that thinking, black and white thinking, binary thinking. Only opposites exist. That's a brain that's not working. No. Stability, cohesion, harmony, economic security, dignity, social welfare. I would rank all of these over so-called liberty. And if you don't rank those above so-called liberty, you're a fool. That's why you could be living in the miserable situation that you are living in. With no. In the Western conception, freedom is the absence of restraint, the removal of obligation. You understand? The primacy of individual desires as the ultimate moral authority. That's not freedom. That is the destruction of the conditions under which a human being can actually flourish, certainly as a cohesive society. If you want to have people living together, you can't live like that. A human being without any obligation, without any accountability, without any sort of a purpose beyond their own desires, beyond their own satisfaction, that's not freedom. That's a menace. You've been West. In the Western conception, freedom is the absence of
All right,
restraint.
guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. All right, Cuts, thanks. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. Oh, let me know if y'all could still hear me. Anybody? Anybody out there? Scream, shout. Just give me a thumbs up, something. I'll let if you hear me. Maybe you can't hear me. All right, there, I can see it now. Thanks. See, I'm back, but yeah. Listen, check this out. Listen to this Jew. Listen to this Jew.
In the Western conception, freedom is the absence of restraint, the removal of obligation. You understand? The primacy of individual desires as the ultimate moral authority. That's not freedom. That is the destruction of the conditions under which a human being can actually flourish, certainly as a cohesive society. If you want to have people living together, you can't live like that. A human being without any obligation, without any accountability, without any sort of a purpose beyond their own desires, beyond their own satisfaction, that's not freedom. That's a menace. You understand? And your dean tells you exactly this. If you're a Muslim, you understand that. The nafs that is completely unleashed is destructive to everyone. It's destructive to everyone around it. You can't build any sort of a coherent, cohesive society on the basis of individual freedom and liberty. No, you cannot. And of course, the West has not. America has not. Because that does not work at all. Like I said, as soon as you talk like this, as soon as you talk like this, then liberty, for example, is not the end-all be-all of what a government should guarantee to their people. People reflexively, knee-jerk reflex response is that you must be now advocating for the complete deprivation of all freedoms, of all rights, of all individuality, and what have you. This is absurd. This is absurd. This is that dysfunctional binary thinking, this or that thinking, black and white thinking, binary thinking. Only opposites exist. That's a brain that's not working. No. Stability, cohesion, harmony, economic security, dignity, social welfare. I would rank all of these over so-called liberty. And if you don't rank those above so-called liberty, you're a fool. That's why you could be living in the miserable situation that you are living in. With no stability, no cohesion, no harmony, no economic security, no dignity, no social welfare. But you're fool enough to say, well, at least I'm free. You must be out of your mind. You're free of your own mind. You understand? Your mind is free of you. Your mind is free of any sense. That's the freedom that you have.
That's a deep understanding right there. And a lot of Americans won't have a clue what that even means. You know, that's real deep right there. And see, that's the reason why the United States is not a Christian nation. Okay, a lot of people, I mean, come on, we all been around the bush for a long time. But there's a reason why the United States was created, and there's a reason why the United States is being destroyed. All right, the great experiment. Well, everybody talks about the experiment, but never knew what the experiment was. Well, when you look at all these other nations, you realize that the experiment was a non-religious nation, a nation that was not built upon Catholicism, Christianity, Catholic, whatever you want to call it. All right, because the United States was birthed out of what? The monarch, the Christian monarchy, right? And then you have all the other nations base their principles off of what? Islam, right? What United States? Nah, that was deitism, right? Deism. You know, they were deists. They believed in a creator, you know, but it wasn't like, you know, it was more of the age of enlightenment and all the other stuff, right? And now when you look back, you're like, okay, that makes sense. You know, this is why it was the experiment, right? See if man had morals, man had principles. We're going to let man reign as God in those lands over there and see how that turns out. You know, now, maybe they could have been thinking, well, let's see if the creator is in them, you know? Let's see if the creator is in the people. That's experiment. Like, maybe that was the whole experiment, was to see if the creator can actually go through man. And that's why this shit being destroyed right before your very eyes. That's why you see the attack on the Muslims right now. That's why you see the attack on Christians too. Now you see all the rhetoric. I mean, this stuff is deep, man. You know, when you look at what's underneath all this, you know, you look at what happened. Trump didn't swear on the Bible. You know, you have all this stuff pertaining to, you know, when you look at it, the religious folks, and then, you know, the truth would be like, oh, you know, they're trying to make these false prophecies so they could believe in this, and then the Project Bluebeam Jesus and all this other shit. You gotta understand, they're ending this place, man. Whatever they do, it doesn't matter, right? And the way that the United States and Americans are being portrayed to the rest of the world, right? It all reflects that. Look at this. We can't have this. Look at this crap. They ran amok. They have no morals, no principles, no nothing. Look at them. They don't care about anyone but themselves. Look at them. You know, they show, you know, Americans cheering for this and cheering for that. You know, they just had the World Cup soccer to gaslight the people thinking that the world is like, oh, look at America. Look at, oh, it's so great. No, the people that come over here to those soccer games are diehard soccer fans and people who think America is like some great, beautiful, grand place, right? Selling it. You know? Selling it. But, you know, it is what it is. And Americans, dumb Americans will say, oh, at least this is the freest place on the planet. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. What you mean by free? Fuck you talking about? What are you talking about? What is freedom? Well, we got laws. That's why. You don't like laws. That's what. What are laws? They don't understand what the fuck freedom even is. You know? Crazy, man. So crazy. It's so crazy. People are like, well, this is the freest place on earth. Yeah, it depends on what kind of mind state you in. You know? Because there's way more places that are more free than this place. You know, people don't realize you've been sold that China is like this mass surveillance state. Everything's being tracked and traced and this and that. No. They have a lot of that shit, but they're not as intrusive as it is here. Not even close. You've been sold that. It is not as intrusive as it is here. These motherfuckers are tracking you in your fucking. They don't dare do any of that shit in China. Track you in your house and shit. They don't give a fuck about what you're doing in your house. They don't care about none of that. You know? So they always like to use China as a catalyst of, you know, tyranny and this and that. No. You've been sold. You know? You've been sold. Flock camera. Yeah. That's another thing. That's been another thing that's been going all crazy. The flock cameras, right? The flock psyop. Everybody's falling for the flock psyop. All the truth. Yeah, cut them down. Woo. Don't y'all know they running the same 5G game on your ass that they did in Europe, where they started tearing up the goddamn 5G poles and shit? They propagated all that over there a few years ago. Now they're propagating us with the fucking flock cameras. There's 100 companies, over 100 companies that do what Flock does. Flock is old news. Like, that shit is old news. They got Signal now. That's way more advanced than Flock. These motherfuckers can tap into a child's toy, get data from a children's toy. What the hell y'all talking? What are y'all talking about? Flock cameras? Fuck a flock camera. Y'all don't realize what the agenda is? The agenda is they're putting these flock cameras everywhere so you can destroy them, because they got better and bigger and better things, like the fucking drones, the Israeli drones, you know, all the drones that all these people are invested in, drone technology. They want you to destroy the fucking flock cameras because they got drones. And you're not going to go fuck with their over 200-foot airspace when it comes to federal crimes. You guys forgot. Then they were like, well, we'll use the drones as a... They were like, oh, we'll just use the drones in skeet shooting. Yeah, okay. The minute one of y'all motherfuckers does 10 years in prison, y'all will stop that shit real quick. Because there's already drones. I mean, there's already laws for shooting down civilian drones that are fed charges. They already got this already planned, guys. So imagine a non-civilian drone. It's already a federal offense to shoot down a civilian drone because it's considered an aircraft. So imagine a government drone. They already got the shit in the book. Look it up. They already got it. It's federal offense to shoot down a civilian drone. So imagine when you got the, you got the government drone, non-civilian. Because that's what the flock camera agenda is for. You're going to cut them all down? All right. We're going to fly drones. Cut those down. When drones could detect way more than a goddamn flock camera. Remember when they said there's all these drones flying all over the U.S.? We don't know what the fuck they are, and y'all bought it. They know Americans are so fucking dumb after COVID. They literally flew drones around everywhere. Said they don't know what the hell they are. They have no clue where these drones are, where they coming from, who's flying them, right? But they know everything you doing, but they don't know what's going on in the sky. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous, man. I told you this place is toast. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And I say same thing to the people who aren't as awake. I tell them, look, it's over. I'm not trying to wake them up. I just tell them what it is. And what do we do about it? Nothing. It's already too late. That's my message. And a lot of people are resonating with that message. They can see it. What do we do then? I'm scared. Well, don't be scared. You're a long way. I've been doing this a long time. Trust me, nobody's doing anything. My messages have been, trust me, nobody's doing anything. All you could do is prepare. That's it. All the people cheering for the flock cameras, I tell them straight up, look, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. What do you mean? Get these things out of here. These things are a violation of a constitution. The Constitution's a violation of your rights. What are you talking about? The hell's wrong with you? The Constitution ain't for you. It's for the goddamn government anyways. What's wrong with y'all? But that's how you got to do it. You know? But I think I'm going to rock out with a jewel dropper before I get off. In case you hadn't heard it, a jewel dropper from dropping straight jewels. I don't know which one it was, but I'm going to end it on that note. Because my voice is tired. I haven't did a stream in a while, so it's late. My voice is tired, so I'm going to end it on etiquette, godless. I think I'm going to do godless. Or irrational. I'm going to do testimony. I should do godless. I'll do godless. This is real shit right here, man. Some real shit. No, I'm gonna do testimony.
Like I said, it's straightforward and principle, but it's very, very burdensome in practice. It's very tiring. It's very time consuming. There's almost no motivation to do it. There's no incentive to do it, because even if you go to the trouble to do it, you're still not going to win the case. Because you're dealing with people who do not fundamentally care about what's true. This is what you have to understand. You're dealing with people who don't care about what's true. Liars cannot be convinced by the truth. You can't.
No, I'm gonna do a rest.
It's an inhuman approach to the world. It's an inhuman approach to thought. And yes, it is inherently irrational. It is inherently irrational and illogical and idiotic. But nobody has ever dared to tell you so. You understand? No one has ever risked pointing out to you that your whole worldview is dumb as a bag of hammers, because they didn't want to get one of those hammers from that bag smashed against their head. You understand? The only reason that you have been allowed to actually go around in this world thinking that you are smart and you are rational and you are logical is because you have kept genuinely intelligent civilizations. You've been able to keep them quiet. You've been able to stifle them by menacing them, threatening them, and literally decimating them whenever your lunatic supremacy is challenged in any way whatsoever. But see, positioning yourself, portraying yourself as logical, as rational, this has also become a kind of atheist or secular covert tactic specifically against Muslims. I mean, it's against anyone religious, anyone who has a religious belief, but I'm talking about our people. You know, it's supposed to put us on the back foot. It's supposed to put us on the back foot and on the defensive because we already know that they believe that faith itself is irrational and illogical. Therefore, we have to now prove ourselves. We have to prove ourselves to be as rational and as logical as they are. You see, it puts us in a situation where we have to, or where we are validating their claim about themselves, their claim about being rational. We're validating that, and we are indirectly validating their disregard for Islam as irrational, and their belief that we ourselves are irrational people. And it puts us in a position of seeking acceptance from them, even while we're in a dispute with them, in an argument with them. You understand? It's a very useful tactic, and we are susceptible to it. Astaghfirullah. Because of our own lingering psychological colonization. And especially if you're a Muslim who's living in the West, if you're living over there, you're very susceptible to it because you're likely an immigrant or a child of immigrants, which means that you are already over there navigating assimilation in every other area of your life and trying to navigate just existing over there. See, this tactic is the most effective against people who are caught between two epistemic worlds. Like Muslims, people who were raised inside of a tradition that always understood rationality as inseparable from and not contradictory to revelation and moral seriousness and objective morality. But now they're operating inside of a discourse that has attached atheism and attached secularism to the definition of rational, as if it was self-evident, as if rationality and logic are metaphysics or something, not just a methodology, not just a way of thinking. No, the West did not invent rational inquiry. The transmission of this understanding runs the other direction. It runs through Baghdad, through Cordoba, through Cairo, to the European universities that plagiarized it. That's the transmission direction. But the West successfully attached their brand name to the concept of rationality. And Muslims in the diaspora, raised inside of a Western education system, so-called, you absorb that association without even realizing it or examining it. So you by default think that you give them that. You concede that to them, that they are rational, that they are logical and so forth. You give them that. And you know that they don't think you are because you're religious. And that puts you, or you let that put yourself at a disadvantage when you talk to them. You understand me? You've already internalized a whole stack of untrue things. You've accepted their self-validation. And you've accepted your invalidation. And now you are operating squarely within their epistemology and their framing. It means you've already lost. You should exit the conversation. You've already lost. So now, aside from trying to argue your point, you're under an added and completely fraudulent pressure to try to prove to these people that you are actually a rational actor by their definition. Prove that you are objective by their definition. Prove that you are unbiased by their definition. Because after all, their critiques are all based on impartial logic, right? Their critiques are all based on reason and logic, right? They're not taking sides. They're unbiased. So now you have to prove that you are also not taking sides. You have to prove that you are just as objective as they are. And the fastest way to do that inside of a hostile discourse like that is to turn your scrutiny and your criticism against your own community rather than against the power structure that is forcing you to perform their version of objectivity, forcing their epistemology on you. They'll never be pleased with you until you follow their way. Allah told you already. Again, like that brother in Switzerland, that brother in Switzerland. The only way to gain credibility with them, once you have accepted all of this, once you've accepted their framing, is to go after your own, to prove that you're unbiased, attack the Muslims, attack your own people. Admit that some of the Western criticisms are based so that you can show them how clear-eyed you are, how rigorous you are, how objective you are. You have the intellectual courage to be unbiased like them. I'm not being tribal. We have to be honest about ourselves, about our own community. Real analysis doesn't pick sides. Everything isn't black and white. I'm willing to say all of the hard things, I'm willing to say the hard things about my own community. That shows that I'm objective. Meanwhile, all the hard things that you're brave enough to say just happen to completely align with the power structure that you're living under. That's how brave you are. You're brave enough to say all of the hard things that will just ingratiate you to the people who are persecuting you. You have the intellectual courage to parrot the opinions of those in power. You're objective enough, so-called objective enough, to become a mouthpiece for Western propaganda. This is what you tell yourself, which of course makes it more effective and it makes it more dangerous than when it comes from a Westerner, when it comes from a non-Muslim, when it comes from a kuffar, from the kuffar, because it comes with the supposed credibility of an apparent insider critique. Like I said, it's the same with the Muslim Brotherhood, just like the Muslim Brotherhood. But when you have Muslims who will parrot neocon, anti-Arab rhetoric, anti-Muslim rhetoric, and you buy the whole narrative about dictatorships and what have you that need to be toppled so that we can have democracy because you have accepted all of those Western frameworks and paradigms. So it presents as if it is a Muslim position because you have a colonizer position being repeated out of the mouth of a Muslim, being repeated on Muslims' lips. See, this is how someone like Candace Owens, back in the day, this is how she first got picked up by the alt-right, back, in the mid-2000s or what have you, by being an African-American woman parroting white racist denials of systemic racism. This is how she made her bones. I mean, I remember her original YouTube channel. A lot of people don't know. Her original YouTube channel was literally called Red Pill Black, Diary of a Coon. That's what it was called. So she was able to say all of the things that white racists say, but she had the apparent credibility of being a black woman while saying it. You understand? It's not just white nationalists now who are saying it. There's a black woman who's saying it too. That's how that works. That's how that works. So now you have a Muslim voice speaking a right-wing anti-Muslim talking points. So it must be true. It must have credibility. It's coming out of the mouth of a Muslim. See, that's what their version of rational and logical looks like. It means saying what they say against yourself, against us. No. They are not unbiased. They are not impartial. They are not objective. They are not rational. They are not logical. Why do you think it's so important to them to validate this about themselves and to have you validate it and have you believe it? Because it's a tactic. It's a tactic. No, they're not in any position whatsoever to offer any kind of objective, unbiased critique of anyone or anything. And they're certainly not in a position to offer any sort of a moral critique of anyone or anything. They're only in a position to confess, to apologize, to beg for forgiveness, to repent, to atone, and to make amends. That's the only position that they're in with regards to the rest of the planet. They're not in a position to say or do anything else. And they're not doing that, and they're not going to do that. And yes, it is irrational. It would be irrational, and it would be biased, and it would be subjective, and it would be a prejudice on our part in their favor for any of us to accept that, for any of us to agree to overlook that and let it slide. No, you would have to be irrational to the point of lunacy to believe that these are rational, logical, objective people. SubhanAllah, like with everything else, the only evidence is their own declaration. And their own declaration is overturned by the evidence of their actions. I mean, look at the, SubhanAllah, look at the scale and the severity of crimes ever since you became so-called rational and so-called reasoning. Ever since then, look, at the time of the Enlightenment and post-Enlightenment in Europe, the West, post-Enlightenment, in your so-called age of reason, do you understand? You killed an estimated 500 million non-Westerners in that period of time. Talking about from roughly the 1700s until now. You understand me? You launched a campaign of horror across the planet the moment you became so-called rational. In the Americas, in Africa, in Asia, across the world, across the whole globe. If you took all of the death and all of the carnage that the West has ever caused from the dawn of Christianity until today, between 80% and 90% of that carnage was committed during and post the Enlightenment. You understand me? That's your secular materialism. That's your rational atheism. That's your age of reason. Nothing but exponential acceleration of monstrous savagery. A reign of terror across the globe for the last 400 years. No, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from your rationality. See that brother who brought the Muslim immigrant crime, so-called, into the chat. He thought he was being intellectually honest, right? He thought that he was doing impartial analysis, being objective. Or anyway, that's what he was telling himself. That's what he was telling himself, even though he never even actually brought any statistics. He just referred to his alleged anecdotal, personal, individual observations. But he had that measured tone, that academic tone when he was talking. He's learned to mimic them. He learned to sound like them very well. He had that performative language of concern for the community, like we have to face our own problems. So he probably didn't even know. He probably didn't even realize. He wasn't even cognizant of the fact that he was being used or allowing himself to be used as a weapon against his own community. I mean, like I said, he didn't actually bring any data. He didn't bring any statistics. But frankly, even if he did bring statistics, all that does is add another set of tiresome tasks that we have to go through to dissect the deception, because you're not going to easily find any statistics coming out of Europe about immigrants and about crime that are even honest. I mean, you can find statistics, you can find honest statistics, but not easily. And I already know that when I'm talking to that brother, I'm not dealing with a serious researcher. So any statistics that he would have brought into the conversation would have been whatever he could find easily. And those sorts of statistics are always, not sometimes, those sorts of statistics are always propaganda devices, always. And you have to sift through all the trickery behind the data. Who collected the data? What was the methodology that they used? How is immigrant being defined in the data set, right? Are we talking about first generation, second generation, third generation, anyone at all who's from outside the country, even if they might be coming from Europe? Or are we only talking about African or Arab or so on, right? Are you comparing economically equivalent populations? Are you comparing immigrant communities that are concentrated in urban areas where there's poverty and what have you? Or are you comparing it with the general national population, which includes wealthy suburbs, right? There's a lot of trickery that goes on. I mean, what drives crime? What is known, proven to drive crime structurally in any population, anywhere in the world, Europe or anywhere else? And does Muslim immigrant poverty in Europe, which is produced by specific and documented discriminatory policies in housing, in employment, and education, and so forth, does that map onto the same structural predictors of crime that drive crime in any poor population in anywhere in the world? On and on. This is what I'm saying. Even if you had brought data and statistics, it's just more dissection that you have to do. I mean, none of these questions get asked. The statistics and the data sets and what have you never get examined. The data is provided as is supposed to be accepted as neutral evidence to get you to a conclusion, right? That's just the rational costume tactic put on top of a purely emotional and ideological argument, which is exactly how they do. That's exactly what they do every time. No, I mean, obviously, any statistics, any data about crime and immigration being produced by a European state apparatus in a political environment that is anti-Muslim, that is anti-immigrant, where the sentiment of anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant sentiment is a primary driver in electoral politics. No, they're never going to produce a neutral assessment of objective reality. It's always going to be a constructed document that is shaped by the interests and the assumptions of the people who constructed the document. You understand me? For what purpose? That doesn't mean that there's no useful information in it, but it just means that you have to interrogate the information before you accept it. And no one goes to that trouble. But the whole point of statistics in an argument is usually for the purpose of preempting any interrogation. And obviously now, when you get into that, you have to get into the weeds and dissect all the flaws in the statistics, and this gets you sidetracked. And then your interrogation of the statistics gets you portrayed as being desperately biased. Like I said, if you insist on precision, you insist on accuracy, then that is going to be characterized as you being irrational and subjective. That's how they do. That you're trying to muddy the waters by trying to be specific. That's how the rational costume works, by making the interrogation of the statistics seem like bias. So when you question the methodology of the data, how the data was collected, then you're accused of being in denial. If you ask about structural factors, you're accused of making excuses. If you're looking for context, if you demand the full picture, then you're accused of muddying the waters. Muddying the waters with the context and with real existing complexity that can actually explain the issue. See, the costume has a built-in defense against scrutiny. Scrutiny itself becomes evidence that you are biased, that you just can't face the facts. You understand? That's how they'll portray it. I'm telling you, they have developed a very complex system of dishonesty. Truly, this is their main technology. This is the West's main technology, and it is very advanced technology ahead of everyone else. And the defense against the rational costume that they wear the defense is very simple in principle, but it's very difficult in practice. You have to examine, you have to interrogate. It's very time-consuming. It's very tiresome. It's very fatiguing. You have to examine what the claims that are actually being made. You can tell me that you're being honest. You can tell me I'm just being honest. I'm just being objective, whatever. But I have to determine that for myself through interrogating what you brought, the claims that you brought. What's the claim? What's the evidence? How was the evidence produced? What does the evidence actually point to if we interrogate it, if I interrogate it, right? Am I going to come to the same conclusion that you came from, or the argument that you are making that supposedly draws from the evidence, is that actually supported by the evidence? You understand me? Or have you just used the rational sounding packaging to smuggle in a conclusion past me that the evidence itself would not sustain, but you didn't count on me interrogating the evidence? Like I said, it's straightforward in principle, but it's very, very burdensome in practice. It's very tiring. It's very time consuming. And there's almost no motivation to do it. There's no incentive to do it, because even if you go to the trouble to do it, you're still not going to win the case, because you're dealing with people who do not fundamentally care about what's true. This is what you have to understand. You're dealing with people who don't care about what's true. Liars cannot be convinced by the truth. You can't point the facts out to a liar and have him change his mind. The matter is, secular humanists say that you can deduce morality through a rational process, through a so-called scientific, quasi-scientific process. You can deduce morality and ethics and so forth. They'll say that evolutionary biology and game theory and primatology, studying the apes and whatnot, that will show you that reciprocal altruism, empathy, social cooperation, and so forth, that all of these things are hardwired into social primates because they are survival advantages. I mean, do I even have to point out how insidious that is? Isn't that what the Israelis have been doing, and isn't that what the Israelis have been following until now? That same mindset? No, advantageous to group survival as the definition of morality, the morality of a tumor. And like I said, we all already know what your moral theories have produced in this world. But again, they need context removal, because you can't stand for 2 seconds talking about your higher non-religious altruism, your secular empathy, your humanist morals, unless we pretend that the 20th century never happened, unless we pretend that the 19th century, the 18th century never happened. I mean, I thought you were empiricists. You're empiricists, right? You're supposed to want to look at the empirical evidence, the application of your theories. Like, okay, you have this hypothesis. You hypothesize that you can come up with a better, more reliable, scientifically derived moral code without belief in God. That's your hypothesis. Well, we've been testing that hypothesis since the 1700s. Don't you want to look at the findings? Don't you want to look at the findings? It's not like your theories have not been tested. I mean, the global south, and even in your own countries, that's been the laboratory for your experiment for the last 400 years. Look at the evidence. You can go century by century. I could go decade by decade. There is no evidence to support your hypothesis whatsoever, at all, which is why you can only talk about your moral theories in a vacuum, and why you have to nonstop deploy all these tactics and techniques of deception and dishonesty all the time. And no, I'm not saying that you were moral before. I'm not saying that you were good before or righteous before the Enlightenment, pre-Enlightenment. Obviously not. The Enlightenment itself emerged already from what already existed in the society. The same tendencies were already there, and I've talked about that many times. It's a certain kind of people. It's a certain kind of civilization. I know I keep saying a certain kind, but do I really need to spell it out for you what kind that is? I'm not hedging. Just take into evidence, like I say, their history and the incoherence of their theories and their philosophies about morality. And like I say, their patterns of behavior, how they are actually like in real life, and how they actually process information and so forth. I think the picture is fairly clear what kind of people this is, what kind of civilization it is. Look, every home, every people, every nation has their own qualities and characteristics. Every nation, every people, every civilization. Each one has its own particular character. Like, say, the Chinese, okay, they're also non-Muslims. They're also largely atheistic in their own way. It's not exactly the same way that Westerners are atheistic. But they're atheistic, or they don't believe in God, or what have you. They're not Muslims, but they didn't develop in the same way. Same with Russians, for example, to a certain extent, or non-Muslim populations all around the world, that are, whether they're religious or atheistic. They've got their own characteristics, and Westerners have their own characteristics. And the same can be said about previous nations, previous disbelieving nations, like the people of Ad and Thamud, and the people of Fir'aun, the people of Nabi Nuh, alayhi salam, the people of Nabi Ibrahim, the Quraysh, and so forth, right? You're going to see similarities and you're going to see differences. And there are going to be certain traits and certain qualities that are specific to kufr. And then there are going to be qualities and traits that are specific to the nation itself that will maybe even remain after they become Muslim, right? And it's the interplay between these things that gives you the overall nature of the civilization. The kufr qualities, the kufr-based characteristics, and then the nation-based that are just part of their culture and their customs and their history. So, for example, there are some things that we know with more or less certainty that you'll see in kufr-based civilizations. They'll be arrogant. They'll prioritize their own whims and desires. They'll tend to be ungrateful. They will be obviously exceedingly occupied with the dunya, preoccupied with the dunya. They will tend to believe themselves to be self-sufficient. They will always overestimate their own intellect and their own judgment. They will usually unquestioningly follow whatever their ancestors followed, or whatever is the predominant framework, the predominant thinking in their society, the status quo, and so forth. But like I say, how all of these things will manifest will vary based upon the qualities that are specific to any particular nation. You understand? So like I say, arrogance, for example, might manifest or be expressed through isolation from other nations because you think you're superior to them. Or it could manifest through aggression and domination of other nations. You understand? But it's the same, it's coming from that grain of arrogance. And the prioritization of whims and desires could take the form of greed and financial acquisition, resource acquisition, and so forth. Or it could manifest in the form of promiscuity and drunkenness and indulgence and hedonism and what have you, right? Or obviously it could be both. It could be all the above. But so for Westerners, there is, like I say, a void where morals should be. It's a void. It's a void. And what passes for morals in the West is equivalent to social etiquette, like I said, because it's entirely based upon popular approval. Audience, observer, group, consensus. That's what it is. And it's all superficial performance and conformity. And they think that their morality is proven, or the way that they prove their morality, or the way that they prove the depth of their morality or demonstrate the depth of their morality is usually through histrionics, shrill expressions of outrage or shock or what have you over this or that breach of societally stipulated moral etiquette. And this is to overcompensate for the actual reality of feeling nothing, or maybe as a reaction to feeling nothing. But either way, it's not actual moral outrage. Now, it's not moral outrage in the way that someone would experience moral outrage who actually holds moral beliefs. Like I said, it's a reaction to a perceived contractual breach, not a moral response. Yes, this is the process. This is the reality internally. No matter what the issue is, no matter what the breach is, it could be Gaza, it could be Epstein, it could be Diddy, and it could be Bob stealing pens from the supply closet. You understand? Look at it. Look at when you watch Americans specifically on social media. When you see them on social media foaming at the mouth, or screaming, or crying, or weeping, or shouting, or what have you, about this or that horrific incident, this or that outrage. It may be an ICE shooting, it may be a lynching, right, which are happening on a regular basis now apparently in America. Or it could be just some corrupt thing that Trump has done, or the bombing of girls' school in Iran, whatever the case may be. If you really look at what that is, what they're doing when they post their outrage, it's not actually even like they're filing a complaint with the HR department. What they're actually doing is checking with the HR department if this thing is contractually allowed or not. You understand? They're expressing their anger or their despair, or whatever the case may be, as a way to check to see if the terms and conditions of the social contract of acceptable morality have been updated without their knowledge. I mean, notice, there's always a question in this sort of content, in this sort of post. There's always a question. They're either stated verbally, explicitly, or it's implicit, or you'll see it in their eyes. They're basically asking, is this okay now, this thing that I'm reacting to? Is this the new company policy? They're expressing their outrage as a way of shooting off an internal memo seeking clarity on the policy. Is this thing okay now? I mean, you see it in case after case. Like I've talked about before, their public outrage over any given issue is almost always followed by social acceptance about that issue. Their outrage is almost always a prelude to approval. You know, something happens, they get outraged, they shoot off their outrage, and their outrage is a memo seeking policy clarification. They get updated, and then everyone accepts the new terms and conditions of the new ad hoc morality of the society. It's uncanny. And that's all it is. That's all it is. The people who get upset, who get indignant, who get outraged, and what have you, they just didn't get the policy update. See? They're still on the old terms and conditions. Like, for example, according to the old terms and conditions of the contract of social morality, you were not supposed to be able to object to women being dressed indecently in public. It was even wrong to refer to it as indecent. And any man who looks at a woman in a gym, if she's wearing a thong, if a man looks at her, he's gross, he's creepy. But now it's gross and creepy for women to dress like that in a gym or in family spaces. You see what I mean? I mean, you can't be blamed. You really can't be blamed for not being able to keep up. Because your policy on right and wrong, good and bad, moral and immoral changes constantly, changes daily. So you can't have any moral conviction. How can you have moral conviction when your morals keep changing on a daily basis? You can't have any conviction in any of those issues. You can't even make moral decisions, even if you wanted to. You can't. You can't take any reasoned moral stance. It's literally, structurally impossible in your society. And again, this is supposed to tell us something about you. We're supposed to look at this and not just observe it, but learn something about what kind of nation it is that's like this. And it is a nation, it is a people, it is a so-called civilization that has no morality. It has etiquette. It has the done thing and the not done thing socially. And these things are fluid. And like I said before, the standards or the terms and conditions are not uniform across all the people in the society. It's literally adjustable depending upon multiple factors, like wealth, like fame, and so forth. Like whether you like them or not, whether they're popular or not, whether they're talented or not, whether they're funny or not, whether they make good music or they make good movies or what have you. It's not uniform. It's not uniformly applied. Like, I mean, do you imagine for a moment that say someone like R. Kelly or Diddy, right, or Roman Polanski or whoever, do you imagine that people like Mick Jagger or I don't know, Axl Rose or whoever, do you imagine that they have not lived their whole adult life the exact same way? Or Rod Stewart, Frank Sinatra, Elvis? Of course they did. Be serious. But let's not dig that up, right? Let's not dig that up. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know what those people did. Because you already know what they did. They did the same thing that you condemn someone else for doing, right? Because that one got caught, that one didn't get caught, so we won't ask about that one, even though we know perfectly well what kind of things they've been up to their whole life. Means it has nothing to do with morality. Means it has nothing to do with morality and only has to do with the performance thereof, the performance of morality. And the performance only conforms with whatever is popular opinion, not what's right and wrong. So yes, an internal critique of so-called Western civilization isn't that it is so much immoral as it is amoral. But of course, to anyone outside, anyone who has an actual moral understanding, that comes out to the same thing as immoral. You don't have a morality. And that lack of morality means that your actions are disproportionately immoral by any reasonable moral standards. So this is one of the ways that your kufr in the West mixes with your Western culture, your heritage, your distinct qualities as Westerners, as the ancestors of Europeans and so forth. Like other non-Muslims, for example, they might have a moral code. Some of them do have a moral code, an ethical code, and they stand by it, a uniform set of standards. You'll find that with many other disbelieving societies, but the West doesn't have that. That's missing. And you cover up that hole with all of your deception and dishonesty tactics. And yes, there is no empathy or altruism either, which is ironic. Like I said, the humanists, the secular humanists, they'll look at the apes in the jungle grooming each other and sharing food and what have you, and they'll think, oh, that means that empathy and altruism are good for survival. And ethics and morality means whatever is good for survival and whatever contributes to the longevity of the group. And that's going to be based on altruism and empathy. And then they go on to become the most sociopathic, apathetic, selfish, self-centered, individualistic, greedy, cutthroat, dog-eat-dog, unequal, lonely, dehumanizing so-called civilization on the planet. Based upon that same secular humanist philosophy, which just means, according to their own theory, according to their own philosophy, means they don't have any empathy, they don't have any altruism, or anyway, they don't have as much empathy and altruism as apes and chimpanzees in the jungle. That's the most charitable reading, that they don't have any empathy and that they don't have any altruism. Because otherwise it means that they want to actively self-destruct. Because if they have empathy and they have altruism, and they believe that empathy and altruism are advantageous to group survival, and they don't ever apply altruism and they don't ever apply empathy, well, then it means that they want to self-destruct. So there you have two options for understanding something about them. You have two options. Either they have no empathy and they have no sense of altruism, or they're completely committed to their own extinction. I think there's a strong case to be made for either one of those, but I'm inclined to think it's the first one. I think they just don't have empathy or a sense of altruism. Because anyways, this is consistent with their love for the dunya and their lack of empathy and their lack of altruism. Uh, that tracks with everything that we know from their history. Because the other very obvious, the most obvious distinct cultural characteristics of the West is their violence. This is an extremely violent people, the West. They're strangely violent. It's a strangely violent so-called civilization. And the violence tells you a lot about them, or it should tell you a lot about them. Like obviously a lack of empathy and a lack of altruism, lack of emotional regulation, a lack of maturity, and so on. Their stuntedness in problem-solving skills, in conflict resolution skills. And obviously everything that replaces everything that they lack, there are qualities that replace the qualities they don't have, like ruthlessness replaces empathy, selfishness replaces altruism, volatility instead of emotional regulation, hubris and impulsiveness replaces maturity, simplistic zero-sum mentality replaces problem-solving skills and conflict resolution skills and so forth. So these are among their characteristics. And if you're a Westerner, you know I'm telling the truth. If you're actually a Westerner, you know I'm telling the truth, and you know I'm not bashing you. You know I'm not bashing you. It's just things that you may want to know. Things that you may hide. You yourself are in denial. But you and I both are all fake. The moral performance. It's all an act. It's all a performance. You don't care. Like I said before, there's a difference. I think I've talked about it even before in this series, in the Us and Them series. There's a difference between knowing that right and wrong are things that exist and knowing that morality is something that exists and that it's good to be moral and whatnot. It's good to be that thing. There's a difference between knowing that and actually caring enough about it to internalize it and actually have a moral belief system. There's a difference. Knowing that it's better to be compassionate, that it's better to be empathetic, better to actually care about human rights and better to actually value human life and care about suffering and so forth. It's different to just know that this is better and to know that the people who are like this are better. It's a difference between knowing that and being that. And Westerners are not that. They're not that. That's just the fact. It's like there was an interview with Norm Macdonald, the comedian, where he was talking about watching a sunset one day. And in the middle of watching the sunset, he realized that he doesn't actually like watching sunsets or care about watching sunsets. He was only sitting there watching the sunset because you're supposed to watch sunsets and you're supposed to marvel at their beauty and what have you. That's what everyone says. But he just realized that he himself personally got nothing out of it. It's like this. The fact of the matter is that Westerners, by and large, and collectively, as a so-called civilization, are actually profoundly and fundamentally estranged from what everyone else recognizes as humanness. And at the end of the day, all of the deception, all of the tactics of dishonesty, all of the conniving, all of the manipulation, all of the lying, all of the performing, it's all like someone criticized you for scrolling on your phone while you're watching the sunset, or you're supposed to be watching the sunset, and now you're trying to convince them that no, actually, I really do love sunsets. Because that's what everyone is supposed to like. You understand? It's all because they can't admit how they really are. Because by all normal human standards, how they are is completely alien and strange and dangerous. So you have to pretend to be like other people. But you don't care about people suffering. You don't. You don't care about people suffering. You don't care about people starving. You don't care about injustice. You don't feel bad for your victims. You don't regret any of your war crimes. You don't experience remorse. You don't understand that there's anything wrong whatsoever with using violence or using force to conquer other people, to dominate other people, to subjugate others. You don't think there's anything wrong with taking other nations' resources. You genuinely don't think it's wrong. You fundamentally think that the law of the jungle, you think that's elegant in its simplicity, and you think it's inherently correct. You get a dopamine rush from violence. You are immeasurably more energized by hate than by love, by war more than by peace, by humiliating others more than uplifting others. You're more energized and motivated by competition, by cooperation. You do not believe in equality, and you're not bothered by inequality unless someone has something you don't, in terms of wealth or status or respect or what have you. Then suddenly you care about equality. You believe in vengeance, not forgiveness. You believe in winning, not mutual benefit. You believe in monopolizing, not sharing. This is how you are. You're nostalgic about every lawless time and place in your history. when there were no rules. Whether you're talking about the Viking marauders or you're talking about Old West outlaw gunslingers. And you fantasize about chaos. You fantasize about anarchy and a post-apocalyptic world where there's no rules, no courts, no police, no law enforcement, or what have you, where you can live out your most primitive, most savage instincts without having to perform morality for anyone, without having to pretend to have civilized principles. This is at the core of you. This is at the core of the Westerners. And it's literally an expectation or an anticipation that you have in your subconscious. Like someday it's going to come true. And everything that happens until then is just mundane monotony, pushing the minutes during a shift at a job you despise. You need to admit to yourself what you're really like. I'm not saying accept it. I'm saying admit it, so that then you might be able to improve. Otherwise, there's no positive or constructive role for you moving forward, Westerners. I mean, theoretically, right? Theoretically, you could have a place, you could have a role, you could have a function within a civilization as like soldiers, as warriors. Then maybe your ruthlessness and psychopathy could be deployed for a purpose under strict controls by a civilized authority that could keep you in check. But under no circumstances should you ever be in charge of anything. No, you're the last people in the world who should ever be given authority. You're grunts, basically. You're grunts, you're serfs. You understand? But see, again, because of your own law of the jungle logic, and your lack of empathy, your lack of altruism, your lack of community feeling, your lack of cooperativeness, your self-indulgence and love for the dunya and so on, and your complete ambivalence and your complete befuddlement about what's right and wrong and morality and so forth, and most importantly, because of your rejection of God, you have also been easily enslavable. So now you're too soft, you're too fat, you're too frivolous, you're too entertained, you're too distracted, and you're too lazy now to even serve that type of a function as soldiers or warriors or what have you. I mean, that's just a theoretical role based upon your qualities and traits, and it's the kind of thing for which those characteristics and qualities could potentially be assets. But outside of a role like that, those qualities and characteristics are only liabilities. It makes you a burden and a menace to humanity. See, and you're trapped in a framework, you're trapped in an approach and epistemology that completely sabotages your ability to ever not be basically a toothache in the world. See, you're in a catch-22 situation. The only way for you to not be an ulcer for humanity because of the way you are is for you to recognize this and to change. But the way you are completely prevents you from ever recognizing this. And you actually think that all of your tactics and all of your techniques and all of your dishonesty and deception and obfuscation, your evasion and misdirection and so forth, all your word games, all your theories and philosophies, you think that this is advantageous for your survival. It's destroying you. You think you can just keep avoiding the reckoning indefinitely. Keep up the charade, but you're not getting away with anything. The more you lie, the more you're known as liars. You know, it's like Trump. He thinks that he can wear those gigantic suits. If he wears those gigantic suits and wears his tie 5 inches too long, that he can hide the fact that he's morbidly obese. But everybody knows. And everybody knows about your so-called civilization.
All right, y'all. I'm about to get up off here. So, let's see.
Like I've said many times, the collective global South has recognized that predators, which is what they are, which is what the West is, are actually incredibly simple actors to understand. They're incredibly simple. Their motivations are shallow, easily legible. It's literally as straightforward as what drives a wolf to attack a herd of sheep. It's not complex. It's very easy to understand. And that wolf is always going to act like a wolf. The predator is always going to act like a predator. So you need to understand their thinking. The global South has learned that a wolf is basically tame as long as his belly is full. That's their whole ideology. That's a wolf's whole ideology. Do you understand me? That's why every global South country, from China to Saudi Arabia, they have understood that you are dealing, essentially, when you're dealing with the West, you're dealing with a protection racket. You're dealing with an extortion racket. Pay them off and they'll leave you alone. Listen to me. They can talk whatever they want to talk. You know, that when they talk about why this or that nation is bad, why this or that country is bad, this or that leader is bad or what have you. Okay, they'll say they're undemocratic. They violate human rights. They pose a threat to our national security, on and on and on. They're I don't know, sponsors of terrorism, they're extremists or whatnot. We don't like them because they oppress women. We don't like them because they're this kind of bad or that kind of bad or whatever kind of bad we want to come up with today. But the only thing that they're actually doing, the only thing that they're actually doing when they say all of that is asking for a bribe. I'm telling you, they're just asking for a bribe. They don't believe in anything. Understand this. They don't believe in anything. They're predators, not believers. They're parasites, not patriots. So you have to understand that mentality. You have to understand that mentality. They don't actually hate on the basis of color, on the basis of race or ethnicity or even ideology. They hate on the basis of their own inadequacy. If you have what they don't have, they'll hate you. If you are what they cannot be, they'll hate you. If you can do what they can't do, they'll hate you. But they'll never say that that's the reason that they hate you. They'll never come out and say it. They'll cloak it in all sorts of nonsense about race or about culture or about faith or about principles or what have you. They'll never come right out and say the real reason. I told you they're marauders. This is why I told you they're marauders. They're scavengers. This is what they were 10,000 years ago, and that's what they are today. That's what they will be 10,000 years from now. Understand that mentality. Hunters and gatherers. Hunters and gatherers, yes, not builders, not creators, not people who develop, not people who advance, not people who grow. Listen to me, because you need to understand the mindset of people like that. You have to understand the mindset of people like that. You understand? Constant, continuous, perpetual acquisition of resources. That's the only thing they have in their mind. You understand? That means there's a constant, continuous, perpetual state of panic. They're in a constant, perpetual state of panic, of insecurity, of precarity. Understand? They didn't put chains on you to keep you down. They put chains on you to keep you close, to keep you near, because they're terrified that you can make it without them, precisely because they know that they cannot make it without you. Islamic civilization exists right. We're entering the consequences phase. And like I said, that's going to be bad for some people and it's going to be good for some people. So when I talk about how the United States of America is declining, when I talk about how it is imploding upon itself, when I talk about how it is disintegrating and being actively dismantled, how you receive that information will depend entirely upon your relationship with the power structure. And your relationship with the power structure is going to determine whether it's good news for you or it's bad news for you. Because I'll tell you, no matter how messy it might end up being, no matter how disruptive it might get, and it will get disruptive, no matter how much instability it causes in that society, it's good news for most people. Yes, most people on the earth, and even most people in America. Because the truth of the matter is that your power structure has always been diabolical. And what's happening now is nothing but justice. Because you cannot defy moral physics, the moral physics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala programmed into the universe, and sustain that defiance indefinitely. The outcome of the American project was inevitable from the beginning. They didn't start that project with minor flaws, with minor crimes. No, they inaugurated the American project with literally unprecedented moral atrocities. Race-based hereditary chattel slavery codified and written into their founding documents. Indigenous genocide that cut 20 million people down to 250,000 people. That's not a project that can ever come to good, even if it wanted to come to good, and it never did want to come to good. This is the other moral atrocity. This is the other moral atrocity that is woven into the American horror story. The unholy hypocrisy. Yes, I'm saying that their hypocrisy is so severe that it crosses the threshold into sacrilege. It's blasphemous. Wallahi, it's blasphemous to officially declare and to teach and to defend your founding savagery and all of your subsequent continuous unending crimes as acts of goodness, as acts of rationality, as acts that are performed for the sake of freedom and liberty and so forth and virtue and whatnot. Well, how did you think that was going to end? How did you think that was going to end? Where did you think that was heading? Wallahi, I tell you, any Muslim who had read the Quran could have told you that your project was doomed from the outstart. You never did anything in your history but purchase the consequences that you are facing today. And worse is forthcoming. We're entering the consequences phase. And like I said,
All right, gonna hit you with a track.
It's 4th of July today. It's 4th of,
This is my 4th of July track.
it's 4th of July today. It's 4th of July today. It's 4th of July today. Independence Day, at least that's what they say. 1776, 250 years ago. Truly, that ain't that long, you know. No, that's a short history. Compared to civilizations and what they call liberty. Compare it to other nations. America's past a mystery. Hidden within victories, covered with others' miseries. Programmed us with imagery, they made us believe everyone's an enemy. Is this what this country was meant to be? What is our destiny? Maybe we'll be free. Eventually. 4th of July, hidden beneath the lie. The same guy, the one eye shirts and tie. Corporate giant fully supplied, no surprise. Open your eyes, watch the sky. Identify and testify, multiply. And read between the lines, don't just memorize. Red, white, blue, but I still analyze. While you're looking in the sky, sit back and ask yourself. If fireworks, if you just understand. It ain't always what you told. Let them rip, let them flake. Use a big over torch, but don't light them on your porch. Have your fun. Now it's back to the porch. George. You know that liberty, that's what's in me. Blood made up, it's chemistry. All in a distant memory. What's America's dignity? Some say it'll get better, you see. Now I'm a realist, I'ma have to disagree. This has been hijacked, you've been sidetracked. My ancestors, you see, they've been attacked. Removed from the past, hidden under a mask. Looking back at the shadows. Land stolen from the battles. Not like the Roman candles. While you're looking in the sky, sit back and ask yourself. When the fireworks explode, just understand. It ain't always what you're up. That was deep. Wake up from your sleep, wake up. Yeah, 4th of July, it's a ritual. You see it's deep, and it's spiritual. Lucifer, the light bearer, visions I see clearer. The morning star, the light tonight reigns far. Spiritual rebellion. Listen to what I'm telling. The triumph of light over darkness. Don't let them spark this energy harvest. Fireworks spark, liberty harness. Still have fun, but know the energy harvest. From a heart of greatness.
Can't hear the audio.
From Mars. Praying lost for no bombs.
I'm just playing it through. I played it on another device. I didn't put it on the StreamYard. It's just playing through the speakers.
Let me light this last dirt, my mind to higher work, trying to find freedom's worth, but still I feel the people hurt. Know your worth, put in the work, speak the truth first. I stand.
Yeah, if it's going in and out, it's just because I'm moving and the service is choppy.
Study history first, use your third eye. You'd be surprised, I could go deep. It's not advised, this was just summarized and emphasized. So tonight, on the 4th of July, to the sky and recognize freedom got compromised. 250 years disguised. It's all just one big huge lie.
Just going through some tracks. I got This was I was battle rapping. I was battle rapping as one dude. I was battle rapping this one dude. This video, we had a nice battle rap. I had 3 tracks, destroyed the guy.
This now, social move, I'm running down. Yeah, shit, this is my battle.
I used the y'all know this beat.
Yeah. People try to bite my sound, but I'm on original. I'm built from the ground. I'ma claim my name because I run this now. Social move, I'm running down. Yeah, see, this is my battleground, my higher ground, the common ground. Spitting these lyrics and the words getting around that I run this down. I take it, but you can keep your crown. You can keep it because I'm still underground. You love the sound, that guy you see, he's another clown. Sit back and watch me bust it down. I'm just warming up, let the oven bake. I take your cake like a tasty bake. You just a feminist, sitting hate. Put on your nightgown, your rhymes don't keep me awake. I got you shook, no hooks like a weekly debate. Look at your fate, you can't create, and you kinda late. Watch me skate, I can do this in one clean seat. My hands hold your fate. I got you in prison and you can't escape. Who can relate? I raised the stakes for goodness sake. I'm wide awake, your eyes and your heart. Cause you thought you was great, then I hit you like a crate. Oh my gosh, my belly aches, not from pain and sickness. I told you from the beginning, I don't need no witness. I keep on your back until you beg for forgiveness. See, you was caught in the distance. Me, I was minding my business. Now I'm beyond resistance. Heavy with the bar, you would think I've been lifted. Nah, I just flex these rhymes, that's my fitness. It's okay, bro. You can ask forgiveness. First verse, worse. Call a hearse, when you been cursed, you're not ready on the earth. I could go in reverse. Then you wouldn't have to be cursed. I'm killing you all with no curses. Clean bars, I should have wrote this ain't cursed. If I'm so immersed, what are you worth? Kid, I'm so observant. If you are now my servant, I'll check on you. Just keep working, spitting hellfire. No dispersing, knock out blow. Now you swerving. I'm going berserk in your feelings, I'm hurting, starting problem. Now the others lurking, scared because what I did to you wasn't deserving. Ask yourself, what's it worth? What's it worth? Give it up fast, recognize I'm not going. Recognize
I will be there. I already posted that. I never posted that already. Yeah. This track I did I remixed a song from somebody in this group. Came out pretty tough.
right, the Matrix. This is the remix. Everybody got opinions. Nobody got facts. Whole world scrolling. Nobody living. This is the remix.
Exactly that.
That first, then I'm like, that's facts. Whole internet built on X. Everyday life really hit like that.
Exactly that.
Fake smiles all through the app. Truth very deep on the hashtag. Just one look, I don't need no chat, no chat. People running in a loop with no saw hidden feelings of gratification in all caps.
Exactly that.
Exactly. Scrolling through a million fabricated lives, everybody rich online, broke inside. Most living in social media live. Look at me smile, look at me surprise. Blushing the captions, but the rest still do. Folks got them looking like a whole new view. But all they really doing is running from what's true. CEO mindset, shirts, no business move. Motivation folks looking confused to consume. Digital costume keeps them amused. Everybody preaching wake up, wake up. While they get attention to digital drugs, no love and fake hugs. I laugh first. Then pause like damn. Why every meme sound like a government scam? Why everybody flexing painful view? Turn drama into trends for the news. Algorithm speed and emotional traps. People lose their soul trying to go viral fast. Don't trend, so it stay in the back. Read it once, blink twice. Exactly. I'm speaking to storage. It's the remix track. No overthink, no overreact. If the truth hit hard, I stamp that. Dress it up, call it content. I see through it for exactly what it is.
Exactly that.
That's first, and I'm like, that's fast. Whole internet built on everyday life really hit like that.
Exactly that.
Fake smiles all through the app. Truth very deep on the hashtags. One look, I don't need no chat, no chat. People running in the loop with no facts. It's all hidden feelings of gratification in all caps.
Exactly that.
Back then, conversations felt real. Front porch talk, shit, them days was real. No fake followers, no body tax. If you stood on words, you stood on facts. Now it's all in AI slop, pushing the max. Now everybody live for a notification. Self-worth tied into validation. Fake internet justifications and no ability for manifestation. And personalities, one face mask, identity split through digital glass. Digital prison, they don't think it don't pass. Some post funny, some post facts, some post feel like anxiety attacks. The rest you can tell all complete acts like damn. We are trapped in that, everybody online, but detached from that. Fake world with fabricated staff, people lose humanity little by little move apps. I lean back slow, but the sins fade black. We used to live, now we perform. Everything staged, everything forced. No silence left, no real contact. Just screens glowing back to back.
Exactly that.
That first, and I'm like, that's that. Don't sound different over hard drum cracks. Saw that hype don't match like that.
Exactly that.
Built so fast, watch it collapse. Everybody talk, but don't live like that. One look, I don't need no chat.
Exactly that.
Read it once, blink twice.
Exactly that.
Like the Matrix. And this is the remix with Natasha. Davis.
That was a fun little joint right there. Got next.
Your words didn't match your actions.
Yeah. We got the martyred father. You already know what this is about.
Another Father's Day. Father's Day.
This was my Father's Day track.
Another year of telling fathers they're important while treating them like they're optional. The question isn't whether fathers matter. The question is, why are they becoming extinct? Species they don't talk about. The one who built that house. Now they acting like we walked out. Whether it was by the government or the woman he was forced out. Government assistance handed out. Fathers, it's time to put up a resistance. It's trying to erase us from existence. Extinct father, working hard but invisible. Every child needs a father. Till the father become disposable. Yeah, it's Father's Day, y'all can keep that. Y'all destroyed the father long ago. If it's not every day, then you can keep it systematic day. For me, it's every day. Right now, I got no time to play. I just passed 3 cops while traveling on the highway. They eyes watch, seeing who's right. They can violate today, or whose revenue they can generate and take. And most people are celebrating. I'm trying to clean my mind with knowledge, mind elevating. I'm lucky I got sons and daughters, legacy making. Hold up. On our 80 weeks, South everywhere shaking. Nothing but corporate money making. The freedom only contract control. You can take it. It's time to be waiting. No more faking. Stop playing. You ain't nothing but money banking. Pressure keep escalating, but the father still creates. Don't see them as classified, you with no justification. Train women that hate men, but we're gonna skip that conversation. They removed that strong, solid foundation across the nation. Made it illegal, validation of fatherhood stripped and removed, no justification. You wish happy Father's Day. They don't talk about it. The one who built the house, now they acting like we walked out. Whether it was by the government or the woman who was forced out. Government assistance. Fathers, it's time to put up with resistance. They're trying to erase us from existence. Father, working hard, but invisible. Every child need a father. Till the father becomes disposable. Call the cops, kick him out the house. Get a restraining order, the system is propagated. Your spouse, cops show up, she running out, yelling in the blouse. Tell her shut her mouth, we don't need these people, let's just air it out. But they can't control her, she's talking loud, I'm bringing real clout. No control, no respect, no regret. Emotional reaction, she'll never forgive it. What's a father? And then as many times we say, why bother? Rather take the long route, I stay focused, no doubt. From the king of the house, running the house. Now I'm nothing in the house, looking for a room in another house. Stress, anxiety is always inside of me, wishing and missing the days when you were considered a father and a dad. It was all good up until she got mad. We become weak and sad because we understand the seeds she need dads. I'm gonna let the beat rock out. Looking back at what I had, everything we had, that's too bad. It left me sad, that made me mad. My baby mom's glad. Damn, I know the father less feel me. The strip of your kids, and then they still say Happy Father's Day, not knowing what led to this. This is what we get. Busting our backs, and some of us even went legit. Some fathers learning not quit, and some fathers like me were built for the stress, built for the pain. Heartbroken in 1,000,000 pieces, but still I didn't go insane. It's more love to give and others point to blame. Nah, this is the system. It's far from letting it rain. Let me slow down. I know we're stirring up some pain. The extinct father, species they don't talk about. The one who built the house, now they acting like it walked out. Whether it was by the government or the woman who was forced out. Government assistance. Fathers, it's time to put up a resistance. They're trying to erase us from existence. The extinct father, working hard but invisible. Every child need a father. Till the father becomes disposable. He's been martyred. He's been Happy Father's Day. Which father are you talking about? The one that's system made. The one that's playing. Which father? The one that no one respects. We used to have honor. Now we use this begging to say yes. No rights. All fights. Sleepless nights. All from court invites. System strikes. Happy Father's Day. No, good, no. Don't call me father, because we've been.
That was my Father's Day song. It was The Martyred Father. This was a track for another contest in a group.
You already know what time it is. I'm about to hit you with another freestyle. No slap, no box. True, I wrote the box. I've been told I'm the hottest in New York. You believe that? Huh. Yeah, it's me. What you thought? It's been in me since I was born. So I'ma do my own home. That's the others moving. You know when I come through, I'm straight shooting. I stay moving. All bullets, no lead. Pumping through your head. What? Are you stupid? I'm not talking about a gun, I keep that exclusive. No ignorance over here, always proving. This style I rock, and this thing proven. This ain't a new thing. I separate myself, ain't no dispute. I'm playing to be the best, but I'ma put you through the test. No excuses. If you claim to be the best, why you over here next to me? You like a hex on me, trying to flex on me. Get out my energy. It's okay though, we can play pretend and I'll let you pretend to be. I don't hate you, shit. I'ma just let you be. Because eventually you ignore it enough and gotta flee. That's that energy, that's that mentally. I drop the jewels and you say I disagree. I be like, stay away from me. Be a fool and stay in your reality. If you're next to me, I give you keys, drop the C, you came to plea. I gave you remedy, your life is in jeopardy. You got no memory, you said, set me free. But the truth you can't see. Stop playing with me. Get from under me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now back to these bars, back to the scars, not in pain. Yeah, write the name, repeat what I'm saying. Yeah, write the matrix. Yeah. You thought I'm done? This was just a warm up. Now I'm pouring out my cup, half full, half empty. One is present, and one is scarcity. I hit bars and I call it like I'm taking from knowledge, no college, no diploma. Big words and phrases with a natural aroma. Sniffing fool. You in the coma, sitting deep in your subconscious mind, deeply intertwined. We running out of time. Some of y'all still in line and COVID lines, the slaughter lines. They took your minds and they gon' do it one more time. They out of line. I love this rhyme. Some say they got skills in the back taking pills, but I'm the real, I'm the deal, I'm the one that matrix appeal, not the movie, but the truth that runs through me. I had to switch from truth to him because it wasn't CIA, our movement. Now I'm on this music, spitting the truth, showing the proof. Better get it before you lose it. I'm straight cruising, I keep it like water. You know that flow, the blood flow clean. The knowledge unseen, every bar got purpose. I produce it. The crazy thing is, most of y'all don't know what I mean. And my message gets me confused. So for now, let me diffuse it.
That was a battle track. I've been in a lot of battles. A lot of people call me out to battle, and yeah, I haven't lost yet. Because a lot of these people are, they just be making shit and using the AI. Everything. I write all my shit, so I don't I don't use AI to write nothing. I write everything. That's why it always sounds different. And then I don't use the AI generator like other people. I use like 4 different things to make a song. So that's fun. I love doing the battles. I got another battle track. I got a couple more battle tracks. See if I can find it real quick. Let's see. This was another battle. Had like four people come at me, so I put them all in a track. And actually, one of the battles I have videos to go with the actual track. of the actual people, like in the video. It's pretty tough. I was gonna upload to the channel, but just don't have time. Let's see, let me go to the see here. I think I might have heard this song. Yeah, I heard that. Past teach the future. Maybe I didn't hear that. What's this? Past meets the future.
1994. If the streets is your species.
Damn, this road is noisy.
Hello. This is 1994. If the streets is your species. Don't hang up. This is you. Who is this? How you know where I'm at? How you know I'm standing at the payphone with a baseball cap? Because I'm too cool for 2026. Slip another quarter in and listen close, little man, before the slide clicks. Stare right the matrix. Listen close, young man, hear me like the news. Look down at your shoes. Jordan 10s with the coat cap. Jordan retired right now, but don't worry, he coming back. Nah, stop lying. How you know all that? Two more championships, two more to be exact, but enough about that. Now I'm the cat's hat. I'm here to warn you about the future. Knowledge, wisdom, supercomputer. You living before the digital prison, before tracking, manipulation, fake awakenings, before people stop thinking for themselves. Cause I'm you in 2026 and it feel like hell. Back when the block still had payphones, before everybody carried surveillance in their hand, called phones, before algorithms mapped souls, young and old, before attention became currency, people had goals, now everybody ghosts, under control, minds locked and sold, they stole, yo chill, how a phone gon' track me, how a machine know what I'm thinking, you tryna gas me, no little man, you should be froze. Don't worry, I'm giving you the future code, this is a message, still the time, they just make us sort of phone lines. So mentally he can escape this. Cause everything you know 2026. They can't erase this. Listen close before the street lights come on. I know mom's gon' worry, so hear this in a hurry. There's something called social media. Start with MySpace. Don't use it. Stay in the real life. It's MySpace. What kind of weird name is that? How people replace real life interactions with that? Because it turns into live hate, validation, controlling lives. I can see the worry in your eyes. And people show morals for lights online. Every conversation, political divides. Young man, keep your feelings close. Don't lose friends. The future real. Preparing you for how to feel, have love, be great, don't adopt the hate. Hold on. President, you say the whole thing. All puppets in the theater, different actors, same hidden leaders, left wing, right wing, same dirty evil, psychological warfare, big campaigns through the airwaves, every crisis monetized, every protest started. That's it, I'm just like kids. I sent a message through the time, major signals and distorted phone lines, trying to wake the young mind, so mentally he can escape this, cause if he make it through 2026, the matrix, trying to save us, trying to save everyone and created this. Wait, what happened next? What happens next? Still there. Single week. Timeline break. Listen close. Yep. What happened? Cloud with that. Why everything sound darker now? Cause it's the future little man and they got cold. Cities visual, hearts got darker, souls got older. They normalize cameras everywhere. Facial recognition through the air. Microphones active. Tracking every habit. People volunteer for digital change and never cared. GPS mapped every movement. Algorithms learn human behavior through improvement. Phones listening. Apps watching. Corporations minding thoughts while the whole world's scrolling. Nah, ain't no way. People really let that happen. Yeah. Because fear made them passive. COVID hit, world changed forever. Fear made the people beg for change together. Neighbors snitching, neighbors over rules and pressure. Humanity separated under artificial medicine. Mask on, spirits gone. Children isolated all day long. Mega corporations double what they made from. While the middle class collapses. Sound sick. It get darker. Listen. Four poison, water poison, music poison, truth hidden in the noise and pointless choices. People disconnected, souls empty, everybody online, but nobody friendly. Feeling suffering instead of helping people. Dopamine addiction made the whole world evil. Wake up, too late. Yo. Everybody fight back. Distract. Trapped inside digital habits, fake spiritual leaders everywhere, selling fake awakenings, false frequencies. Everybody shows, everybody here, nobody practicing discipline for real. They rewrite narratives overnight. Groups censor quietly, lies repeated to society by memory, whole culture, history edited, and future generations won't even recognize the message. So what do? Love harder, think deep, protect the children. Western leaders and disconnect from poison. Rebuild community because humanity dying from spiritual impurity. I send a message through time, pay the signals and the story phone. Trying to wake the young mind for the future fully flatline. Yo, if I become, we survive. Only if you remember. You can track the body. Never let them track yourself. Hello. Wake up, little man. Before it's too late.
That was a fun track to make. Let me go like one or two more. This was part of another battle. Oh, where James? Yeah, gotta hear the guy that battled me when he put his track. I'm gonna play his. And I'll show you how I destroyed him.
You want that smoke from me? Like you don't know who I am. You really think you can step to me? That's a bold ass plan. You think you can do this to me? Well, you must be crazy. I be putting all these bars on you bitches cause your lines is lazy. A wise man once said, King Kong ain't got shit on me. I'm the king of this jungle. And I'ma teach you that for free. I try to warn you young bloods, I spit like a viper. I've been doing this thing since you was probably in diapers. Now you done walked up and fucked with the wrong boy. You thought you was gonna climb up on my nuts. You fucked around and got a mouthful. You really thought you was tough, huh? Talking all that rah-rah. Now you standing in this smoke looking like nah. I tried to say you nice, but you wanted to play games. Now I'm about to everything you claim, you came at the wrong one. Thought it was too much. Rappers like you for a midnight freak. You was hiding behind keyboards, typing like a bitch. Now you got the mic in your face and you ain't saying shit. I'm the king of this jungle. I don't fight fair. I leave your career in the dirt right there. You had your chance and you tried your luck, but don't mess with Gen X cause we don't give a fuck.
That is. Now that was this one dude. His name's Mike Crane, right? So this was my track right here. This is my first track. Oh no, that was round 2. Let me find round 1. This was my round 1.
You lose the night, and when you move,
fall like a thunderbolt. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as the night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt.
The challenge to battle rap. So this is my first one. Then he came with that one you just heard, and then I came with a round two.
Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as the night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt.
Peace and love. Shout out Mike Crane for the setup. Friendly Faye. Don't get it confused. Let's go. Nah, I'm joking. It's battle rap, it's sea wide open. You just answered. The world of yeah, right, the Matrix. King of AI hip hop. Let me see how I wanna approach this battle invitation. This ain't beef, it's a test to the pen, a lyrical decoration. Mind elevation, mixed with dedication and motivation. Deep breaths, mental calibration. Word, need no justification. This is battle rap, beats fire rapping with innovation. When they hit you, you'll be calling out for Jesus. Revelation, this an abomination in preparation of total domination. I don't even know these guys, but I see them in observation room. Or better yet, lay them down like an operation with a few goons running through. Nothing new, I run with tools, that's a threat to do. Several times, we got no beef because I'm vegan. My boy tweaking, South Carolina where they be geeking. Straight scheming, country boy, population weakened. Down crumbling, dirty feet, creeping. Sound kinda boring, I should ignore them, not go to war with them. But that would be like I ran. So I keep on them like I ran. But one shot, I return it like war. Nah, I don't play fair. I ain't scared of y'all. I'm like Trump, crazy America, political scavenger. Star Wars for the ones who created the calendar. Yeah, Thompson don't really want the smoke. I just showed him I ain't no joke. Another cat named Zendaya. She said she wants smoke. Are you sure? Baby, please, my lungs, I don't want to choke. I'm non-violent, but my words grab you by the throat. Shotgun puff blast from a dirty boat. And nah, I don't even smoke. These just lyrical notes, hemispherical notes. Pulling pages out of mental load. My mental notes got you shook. Battle rap, man, I dare to AI Facebook. I read the profile, study hooks. I ain't shook. Did this with no hooks, no singing, same look. They wonder how I use this tech. AI game shook. Thousands from Carolinas and Daya from Detroit. They cook. Did it clean, no curses from my mental playbook. Oh, you thought I was done? Nah, small store, one more, Damian Braxton. Made a Discord, midnight snack, and he lacking. Caught him slacking, hop behind the ball, sneak attacking, beats lacking, doing swag, singing with the backspin. Got me laughing, shit, I stop, I keep running like a campaign. Let me end it right here before my friend. Play, stare right the Matrix. Remember the name. I run. Yeah, I hip hop game.
So that was when he made this track.
I'm the king of this game. Bow down to the throne. Everybody else just a pawn in the league on my own. I drop bodies, baby, leave 'em laid out on the floor. One verse from me, careers get no more encore. I'm a sniper in the darkness, go black on the target. You can't see me coming down close. I'm the hardest. I make pretty songs, fire hooks for days. It's how I battle when I come to play. I even hide in the clouds. Yeah, I'm that stealthy. You looking for me? Look, even smell. I'm the GOAT, I'm the best, I'm the legend they fear. Dropping this track so cold, make the whole game disappear. Sniper from the shadows, bodies dropping left and right. I'm untouchable king, y'all just hide for the night. I even hide in the cows, cleaning with the hurt. Why you out here screaming I'm here, bro? That's absurd. Call me the Reaper, everybody's a body bag. Your favorite rapper, her name already packed. I'm levels above, you can't reach me with a ladder. Talk tough on the net, but in person you just chatter. Crown on my head, separated majority. Every time I spit the industry feels the defeat. I make pretty songs of fire hooks for days. It's how I battle when I come to play. I even hide in the clouds. Yeah, I'm that stealthy. You looking for me? Good luck, you won't even smell me. I'm the GOAT, I'm the myth, I'm the legend they Spinning with the herd, why you out here screaming I'm him? That's absurd. Yeah, I'm there, yeah, I'm there, yeah, I'm everything. Got the whole game shook every time I let it rain. My melody's good, deeper than any of fireworks and pretty dudes. It's the way I shine.
That was his. This was this dude, Mike Crane's diss track to my track. That was round one, and then I hit him with this round two, which just was an actual. Not this was like a little video. Had a little video part in it, but not much. But this was round two.
Round two. I came back to finish what you started. It's yeah, right, the Matrix. Back for the second battle. But I'm not sure, maybe it will be the final battle.
And it was mixed with 3 other people that were battling me too.
Much love, y'all. Starting with fun. Enjoy. This is round two. Or is this the second battle? People said they wanted to smoke. But have you ever seen smoke with a shadow? That's when creeping stealth mode. In a black boat, no motor, only with a paddle. Drifting through the back with a scope. Black handle, no holster needed. Sling it over my arm and prop it like a saddle. Take sight, I aim it through the window from 1,000 feet. With that infrared silent beat. I had to muffle that sound. As I aim, I had to shoot through the cattle to absorb the sound of your last rap battle. Silent shot sent through the window, hit you so fast the glass didn't rattle. No shadow, no one will find you because there's no one left. The title is the art of war. Anyone looking for you is in the English Channel. I got them before you, but I wore the camouflage flannel. Yeah, that was a hell of a value. That was more gruesome, so bad I had to repent and burn some candles. But you think this is war? You thought this was a rap battle? You thought the first one hit hard with no hooks? Let me reprogram AI to slip in this one from my mental playbook. This is round two. The final battle packed with action in the first round. It was Thompson, and Zendaya, and Damian Braxton. Until I heard the king of the jungle, Mike Crane. It was hot, but we not playing the same game. I'm the king of AI hip hop, and you gonna remember my name. These bars ain't weak. Hard to continue. The first verse was the first curse. It was dark, but yeah, I've seen a lot worse. Now I'm on the run. Huge Gucci bag full of this paper, not feed. But it's the words for this next verse. Some will call it at a purse. Meanwhile, the corner is picking you up in a hearse, body empty, soul's gone. Crime scene is clever, head scratcher. The feds turn to each other and say we have a body snatch. This is definitely linked to that guy, yeah, right, the Matrix, the soul snatch. Let's call the CIA and find out how we capture. Because this one's not waiting for the rapture. Now they looking for me because they have to capture. A guy that slays names with no data capture. Hidden factor, every move precise. Yeah, the vision, thoughts I gather. Now I'm headed to the jungle to look for the king. Out here, there's no ring, no reps, no protection. Here I can take names and make a mess. No regrets, this is a lyrical test. Don't worry, I got my bulletproof vest so I can feel less pain. Now let's get to the objective. His name is Mike Crane. He claims to be the king of the jungle. That's why I take aim, take his fame, distinguish his flame, put him to shame, make him feel the pain. So if he's the king, then it's time to tame. It's time to bang. It's time to bang. These bars are in my veins. I know he's sitting there in his mind is strange. Rain and chains. Don't worry, Mike Crane. I'm the new king now. See me reign. This is my new domain. Yeah, right, the Matrix playing no games. Now we have verse 3. What could it be? Feds and CIA still looking for me. I just slayed 3. Then I came to the jungle and hit the king. Where do I go now with this battle rap? Another regime. Who's next? Will there be a part 3 sequel? Jason Bourne movie style, supremacy. Or that clash, the born identity, treads don't spine. I gotta stay low. They watching me from the deep eagle. The mess I left in verse 1, the feds still having trouble seeing through. They need to seek mental treatment because the scene was too evil too. I left no evidence. For missing you. Traced it all, and the family was already gone, so there was no need to. No one to remember you, no one to identify you. They have to go back to DNA from the medieval to see even perceive you. So maybe there will be no sequel. My crane was hot, but now he's just a plot in the jungle under the tree too. So maybe I'll stay here now. The rain is king too. There's nowhere to run, so this is just battle rap. So yeah, it was 1, 2. Don't take it personal. It got real personal. And the verse two. Yeah. Yeah, right, the Major John.
So that was part of a battle rap, and I'm gonna play my last one because this was round 3. And they came out with another song, but it wasn't tough. But the one girl that was battling, she had a tough song, but it wasn't enough. So then this was round round 3 right here. Round 3. This was the chick song in my round 3. It was actually tough. She did a video, and my video matched her video. It was a cool battle.
Round 2, finale. DJ sit on the beat. You don't stop. 3 songs, nigga, who you really trying to convince? Your flow is getting a bit bombastic, and the shit makes no sense. Your style I call brandy, look with no words is lacking in substance. And you still got my name in your mouth, now things about freaking intense. The first time I speak the black word, you didn't leave nobody in. I extinguished your ass like a fire, but left your head out on the fence. And now you have me from the dead, but you ain't making me flinch. Round 1 was only light work, so now we can have the battle. Commence calling yourself king of the jungle, but we all know it's just pretense. I'm really more like a boat that will eat anything that I dispense. And your rhymes sound like bones, but you don't need a better defense. I'm coming up with guns blazing and take your waist down like a tyrant. This time, nobody heard faces of blood that cleanse. I'm crying in my deep. They don't need to try to make amends. If you want to shake hands, after the problem, we can remain friends. But now it's no mercy, show we grown. So this round gon' have to extend. Teach you a valuable lesson. Don't come with me unless I stand. And your ass like a big fury, like that gas when I ran. Boys coming at you with militant strength. You won't be able to withstand. I tried to warn you the first time. Fucking with me, nobody recommends. Then you got here, pen, and making people the 1 through 10. I was dropping your ass up like a blender. With my chance, you wanted to take me on. Now you wanna fuck up circumstance. They call me the queen of the night. You find that my mind transcends. You think you really could let me win. But we all know it's just pretend. I already disavowed the last one. See, nigga, ain't you still wearing the pins? Now I'm worth a lethal and filled with power. Tonight is where it all ends. So your ass up on the bed. And let the feast then begin. You turn me into a heifer. Now I'm busting your ass like the oven. It's time to talk purple, you baby. You know that stuff was stuff. Ain't no coming back from this. With all your huffing and puffing, I'm worse than a big bad wolf. I just reduced your ass down to nothing.
The song was really but the video made it really tough. What she did, that was how the video made it tough. But I killed her with round 3. Wherever the hell it's at. I can't find it. Let me see if I can find it. I wonder why I can't find it. Last one. Oops. Sorry, y'all, I can't find it. Try one more time. Yeah, but I don't know where it went. Can't find it. I got the original on my other phone. Well, I can't find it. But I'm about to get up off here, guys. Much love to y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, shit. I just saw Matt Pyman in the back. Yeah. I'm about to get up off
Hey, brother. I didn't think you
here.
noticed me. I got the feeling you
I
didn't notice me.
did. No, I didn't see it. What's up, man? I was just about to get off, and I'm like, wait a minute, because I'm not paying. That screen is so
Yeah,
small.
I knew you couldn't see it, man. Yeah, I knew.
What's up,
Yeah,
man? How you been, man? I just, you know what? Not too long ago, I made a video that was like, man, I haven't seen him in a long time. I hope he's good.
yeah, man. I'm always around, man. Things are getting better, man. I'm going to be moving down to where I want to live
Yeah.
on the coast. Yeah, on the coast, on the bottom right hand corner of Australia,
Oh,
mate. Yeah.
oh, okay. Dang, yeah, man. It's good to hear from you, and good to know you still out there. Because I was wondering, I was like, damn, I haven't seen him in a minute. I hope he's good.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
that's good, man. All the way
Good to
from the
see you too,
land.
man. Good to talk to you, man. Good to get the chance, brother.
Yeah, I was just up here, just I don't know, just making a video, doing whatever, man.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Yeah, man. Definitely good to see you, man. First time I think you came on
I'll tell
like
you
the
what happened
screen.
today, man. How I come across you. Yeah, I lost my phone and my bank card last night. Right, or they were stolen. Yeah,
Huh?
at the same time, man. Last night, I just got a new phone
Oh,
and I just
really?
got it. Yeah, and I just turned it on, man. And the first person I saw was you live,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
went, "Fuck yeah,
Call that.
that's great."
Call that. Divine timing, boy.
You can't make this shit up, man. You can't.
Yeah, you can't, man. That's good, man. Damn, good to see you, man. How's
You
it
too,
going
man.
down there? How's it going in Australia?
Oh, fucking life's getting harder, man. Yeah, fucking.
It's getting hotter.
No, harder
Oh,
for people,
harder.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
How's
yeah.
the
Fucking.
how's the government down there? Getting
Oh,
worse?
bad, man. They're trying to tax us to death, mate. They're taxing us on fucking everything there, man.
Yeah.
You know about capital gains tax, man? I think we're one of the only country. We might be the only country in the world that has it. You know, I think we are.
Capital gains?
Yeah. So if you sell an asset and you turn a profit, right, you have to pay a
Uh-huh.
tax on that, right?
Damn.
But it only used to apply to real estate and like gold and precious metals and shit, you know.
Uh-huh.
And now it's fucking everything, man. Fucking cryptocurrency, fucking shares, fucking.
Really?
So yeah, so people like house prices of like $1 million, you know, in the capital cities, and you know, it's impossible to buy a house, man. Pretty much, you know, if you're earning 60,000, you know, under 100,000, even if you're earning 200,000, you probably still couldn't afford to buy a house, you know. You can't
Wow.
save the deposit, man, you know. And they're punishing people who own property, man. That's the number one thing. But
Oh, yeah.
the idea is that if they punish property investors, right, the ones that are making money out of it, right,
Uh-huh.
then that'll help the poor people buy their first house, you know. But
Right.
all it's doing is going to make the property investors go somewhere else, right?
Right. That's what
And
they're
then there's
trying
going
to
to be less rental properties, and then everything's going to go up more and more. You know, it's fucking insane, man. Everyone's getting punished as life gets harder, you know.
Yeah, people don't realize that shit's coming to the United States, man. Big time.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
know,
the cost of living, fucking, it's
that's,
insane, man.
that's how it is here. Everything going up. Everything's going up. Houses are,
Yeah,
doubling, tripling what they're worth. Like
yeah.
how the hell you got a person making $80,000 a year?
Mm,
They bought, 10 years ago, they bought a $250,000 house. It's now worth 700,000.
yeah.
What the hell? They can't afford that. You know?
Well, that's the problem too, man. It keeps you in the trap. You can't escape it once you're in it, because you sell
Yeah.
your house,
You gotta go
you
try to
get
get.
just enough to buy another house the same,
Yeah.
or you can downsize and save a bit of money, But
Right.
you're not
But
going
it
to
does.
save much, man. You're not saving much.
Right. It don't make no sense. You're like,
No.
oh, my house is worth 700,000. I only paid
Yeah,
300,000. Yeah.
yeah,
Sell it and go find another house and watch what you'll be paying.
yeah. Because most people they want to go up. They want a better house, right? So they fucking upgrade.
Right.
So then
They
they get
gotta
a
go.
new mortgage.
Right. They gotta go down now.
Uh,
It's
it
crazy,
won't be
man.
a full mortgage. They might have to borrow like 200 or 250 or something. But still, man, you got like 15 years probably to pay it back at the same amount you were paying on the house you had before, which was probably nothing wrong with it. And and most
Right.
people never own their house, man. They just upgrade and they've still got, to pay that mortgage off, and then get another one to buy the next house. So they're in the same
Yeah.
position, really. Those people just don't get it, man.
Right, man.
Yeah.
Well,
That's bad.
check this out. I'm gonna get up off here, man, because I've been on here for a minute. But listen,
Oh,
man, you got my email. Email me. It's
yeah,
2021
I
and
will, man. I'm not big on that, but I know how to do it now. Yeah.
yeah, just email me. 2021 @gmail.com. Easy.
Yeah. Oh, I forget that one. Cool, man.
Yeah, it's just like my channel. Yeah, right. But it's 2021 @gmail.com. Email me, man. Let's stay in
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah. No worries, man. 100%. I'll do that.
All right, man.
All right, mate. All right, brother. I'll let you go.
All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. See you, mate.
Glad you came on. I appreciate it.
I'm glad I caught you, man. It was good time. Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Peace, brother.
Yeah. Peace.